Well, hello, hello. My chair squeaking out. All right, something interesting today that I wanted to talk about. Let me put this in the middle now. All right, and let me get rid of these dots. So, if you will remember, we talked about Mr. Timmy Jones Jr. the other day. He is a monster, and we know that. Remember, he took the life of all five of his children. Tried to claim that he was insane was the reason. Just horrific. We've seen all of his appeals were denied. All right, we've seen that. Let me put something up here that I know I made this the other. Let's see. Let me put I did a poll, and I'm going to find it, see if I can get it up here. Hang on a second. Okay, just a second, guys. Right. Oh, it's right here. Duh. Let's see. Not that one. Okay. All right. Here is our poll about this situation. To get a chance when you come in, just pick a number 1, 2, or 3, whichever answer you want to put, and then it'll just put it up into the poll. You don't have to type yes, no, or just a number, and it puts it into the poll. It's automatic. But anyway, so in speaking of Mr. Monster himself, Mr. Timmy Jones Jr. We're just going to do a little recap of what he was charged with and what happened. But what's freaky about his story is he's been through the whole appeal process. It's all been done. And his death penalty was affirmed. However, I noticed that he was never scheduled. He's never got the death date. And now, all of a sudden, he has 2 stays. We got to talk about that. How did this happen? How in the world can you have your death penalty affirmed, then get 2 stays, and now, guess what? They have ordered a competency valuation. Now, wait a minute. The competency valuation should have happened before he ever went to trial. That's how it usually goes. So let's figure out what's going on here. It's really disgusting. So let me pull this back up, and we're going to talk about Timmy for just a moment, and then we'll move on to talk about how in the world he's getting a competency hearing evaluation and how he got 2 stays. So hope everybody's had a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Hope everybody has a good day tomorrow. And there's another thing I need to pull up. Let me pull this up before we get started. We're going to go ahead and read our disclaimer for copyright. That's so important that we talk about that. Get that done. Hang on a second. Let me find my little copyright thing. Here we go. All right. Okay. There. Hang on, guys. All right. All right. Here we go. Come on now. Don't be doing that. Okay. There we go. Lots of other things going on out there in the true crime world. I'm trying to keep up with Nancy Guthrie, but that's getting hard to keep up with. So, anyway, let's go ahead and read this. This broadcast may contain commentary, criticism, news reporting, teaching, and analysis using limited portions of copyrighted material under Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act of 1976. Fair use is permitted for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarships, and research. All photos, video clips, and audio graphics belong to their respective owners. This content is transformed for educational, informational, and discussion purposes and is not intended to replace the original works. The opinions expressed during this live stream and those of the host and guest are presented as commentary based on publicly available information and allegations unless otherwise stated. All individuals are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. So there you go. There is our disclosure about fair use. Now, let's get back over here to Timmy. We're going to talk about what he was in prison for, how big of a monster he is, and then we'll move on to the next steps, our part 2. It's very, very, let me just give you a trigger warning, okay? Just a trigger warning here. Timothy Ray Jones Jr., born December 28th of 1981, is an American convicted mass murderer who killed his 5 children. Mara was age 8. Elias was age 7, Nathan was age 6, Gabriel was age 2, and Abigail Elaine was age 1. In their mobile home along South Lake Drive in Lexington County, South Carolina. Jones admitting to working Nathan to death and killed the other 4 children in a panic. When he says working to death, he means PT. That was his form of punishment. Jones pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but the court rejected this plea. He was found guilty of 5 counts of murder in 2019 and was sentenced to death. As of 2022, he was awaiting his execution on death row in South Carolina. The South Carolina Supreme Court denied his appeal. Okay, so we're going to talk about the appeal process. We're going to talk about that for a second. Get down here to the bottom because for me, it's hard to understand how you have an affirmed death penalty and yet you have 2 stays and now you've been ordered a competency. What is going on here? All right. Okay, so let me get down here and see if there's anything. As far as his appeals go, now here's the sad part about this. As of 2023, he is awaiting execution on death row. According to Lexington County officials, South Carolina taxpayers have paid $647,653.27 for his trials and appeals. In 2021, Jones requested South Carolina Supreme Court to look at the case. Jones's attorney claims that the trial was unfair. On March 29th of 2023, the court issued an opinion affirming his conviction and death sentence. It's right there. So, how in the world do we now have 2 stay of execution and a competency, an order for a competency evaluation? Why? So we're going to go back over and talk about this. Hang on a second. Get off of that now. Hang on. Why? Okay, so why was he given stays, not 1, but 2 of them, after an affirmation? That's just weird. After case was affirmed. Oh, hang on a minute, guys. All right. Why is it doing that? After case was affirmed. Oh, God. Let me get this done. There. Now. Let's go. Go. Come on. Okay, it doesn't want to go over to my saved information, which is 2. Okay. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll get it over there. It has 2 stays and search. All right, here we go. Now, hang on a second. Actually, he should have never had those children. But you remember they got divorced. Well, no, you may not. If you didn't watch this the other day, you might not know this. When they got divorced, he was awarded custody of the children. And we know that the CPS was, again, involved, as usual, all of these cases where we have a family member taking the lives of their children. Usually the CPS is involved in these cases. And in this case, it was as well. So that's, I don't understand that, but we do know it has happened. So here we go. Let me pull this back up over here. Wow. Timmy Jones now has 2 stays. Oh, why is it doing that? And a competency hearing. All right. There we go. Now, oh boy. Timmy Jones Jr. has reportedly received multiple execution delays because his legal team is arguing he may not currently be mentally competent to be executed. But they did the competency hearings before they ever had the trial. This is what's weird about this. And we do know his case has been affirmed, right? So it's not making any sense to me. In death penalty cases, competency challenges can temporarily stop an execution while the courts determine whether the inmate understands the punishment and the reason for it. But if you go back and watch the trial, he absolutely understands the punishment and the reason for it. Here's the breakdown of what's happening now. His direct appeal was denied by the South Carolina Supreme Court in 2023, which upheld both his conviction and the death sentence. Okay, we know that. After normal appeals are exhausted, defense attorneys often move into post-conviction litigation involving mental illness claims, competency to be executed evaluations, and constitutional challenges, or a federal habeas proceedings. He has 2 stays and they have paused the whole process because he needs psychiatric evaluations and experts to testify or judges to determine whether the inmate meets legal standards for execution. Competency in execution cases is not about whether the person was sane during the crime. The legal question is usually whether the inmate currently understands they're going to be executed, and number two, why the state is executing them. Now, in Jones's trial, they've already involved major mental health testimony. His defense argued he suffered from severe mental illness and psychosis, including claims of hearing demonic voices, though prosecutors and experts disputed his insanity claim. If you watched we watched a little bit of this trial the other day, and we've talked about this already. South Carolina has several death row inmates whose executions have been delayed over competency litigation. Courts take these claims seriously because executing someone found legally incompetent would violate a constitutional protection. So you get your competency evaluation before you ever go to trial, and you're found sane to stand for trial, right? You go through the process. Your appeals have been denied, your death penalty has been affirmed, and yet before they can put you to death, before they can follow through with the sentence, they have to determine if you are legally competent to understand why you're being put to death. I want to know how the hell that makes any sense, because to me it does not. However, I'm not in the court system. I'm not an attorney. I'm not on the Supreme Court or any of that. It just seems to me like there's just some deliberate things that goes on in these cases that's not necessarily reasonable, and I don't think that's one of them. Now, I want to read y'all something else that I came across that I thought was pretty interesting. What is that a picture of? Huh. Let me see why that picture's there. I'm not sure. That looks like Dee Dee's car or something. I don't know why that picture's there, but we'll get rid of it. Okay, let's just take that off. Nah, we'll just take it off. Put that there. Okay, that's better. Anyway, so I came across something I'm going to share the screen with. It's pretty informative, and it's about death. It's called the Death Row Penalty Center, and it has all the information for every state, who's on death row, and what the status of their case is. And I thought we'd take a look at that real quick. So here we go. Let me share my screen for that. Okay, here we go. Come on now. All right. Here we go. Now. All right. Now, there it is. As you can see, this is the 2026 death warrant outcomes nationally by date and scheduled executions. Now, put this back over here. Thank you so much. And let's start doing a little bit of reading. Okay. So, if you see active, that means the death warrant for the defendant has been issued and an execution date has been set. If it says inactive, the defendant will not be executed on the scheduled execution date. If it says executed, the defendant was executed by the state or the jurisdiction in which they were serving and the death sentence. Okay, so here we go. We're going to look at 2026. January the 2nd in Pennsylvania, Richard Rowland Laird. It's inactive. After the execution was scheduled, Governor Shapiro issued a same-day reprieve on December 5th, 2025. January 28th of 2026, in Texas, Charles Victor Thompson was executed on January 28th of 2026. February the 10th, 2026, in Florida, Ronald Heath was executed on February the 10th of 2026. On February the 11th, 2026, in Ohio, Antonio Franklin, it is inactive. On October the 10th, 2025, Governor DeWine issues a reprieve, and the execution has been rescheduled for February the 15th of 2029. Now, I think it's interesting. Let me write this down because we're going to look up why 3 years from now. What's going on in that case? Let me write this down so we'll know to look it up. All right. So his name is actually, hang on a second, pull this back up. It's Antonio Franklin, and this is out of Ohio. So 3-year halt. We got to figure out, why does he have a 3-year halt? Then we have over here, February the 12th of 2026 in Oklahoma, Kendrick Simpson was executed on February the 12th. February the 24th of 2026 in Florida, Melvin Trotter was executed on February the 24th. March the 3rd, 2026 in Florida, Billy Leon Curse was executed on March the 3rd. March the 11th out of Texas, Cedric Ricks was executed on March the 11th. March the 12th in Alabama, Charles Lee Burton, which is inactive, On March the 10th, 2026, Governor Kay Ivey granted a clemency to Mr. Burton, commuting his death sentence to life without parole. On March the 12th in Ohio, James Allen Trimble, it's inactive. On October the 10th, Governor DeWine issues a reprieve. Oh, that's one. Issues a reprieve, and the execution was rescheduled for 2029. Here's another one. We have, what's his name? James Tribble. Why is his reset? Okay, we're going to write this down because we're going to figure it out. What makes one state do it and another state not? So now we have a 3-year reprieve, okay, on that one. Then we have March the 17th. In Florida, Michael King was executed on March the 17th. On March the 24th in Pennsylvania, Harvey M. Robertson is inactive. On February the 20th, 2023, Governor Shapiro issued a reprieve. So we need to figure out what's going on with his case. Why was his? It's Harvey Robinson. Okay. Then this is an interesting one. On March 31st of 2026 in Florida, James Duckett is inactive. On March the 30th, the Supreme Court of Florida denied the state's motion to lift the stay, explaining that the circuit court continues to have have concurrent jurisdiction to rule on a motion related to a DNA testing and the successive claims filed by the petitioner. A status report on all pending issues from the circuit court is due to the Supreme Court of Florida by 5 p.m. on April the 2nd. On March the 26th, the Supreme Court of Florida stayed pending further orders of this court. The court allowed the state until 5 p.m. on March the 27th, 2026 to provide a report addressing the status of the DNA testing. Well, all of these dates have passed. So what happened here? We need to look up James Duckett and see what happened to him. Here we go. I'm writing all of this down so we can take good looks at it. Okay. On April the 21st, 2026 in Florida, Chadwick Willesee was executed. On April the 30th in Florida, James Hitchcock was executed. On April the 30th, 2026, James Broadnax was executed on April the 30th. Now, you'll see we have a bunch coming up next week. May the 14th, May the 14th, May the 20th, May the 21st, on through June. Here's the rest of the year. This is 2026, right? Now, hang on a second. So as you can see, there's a lot of people who are waiting on death row. There's a lot of people who have had stays. There's a lot of people that are put on hold for 3 years. There's quite a few coming up next week on the death, for the death penalty. I want to know what in the world, why would you have a 3 years wait? So let's look up Antonio Franklin. Hang on. Let me pull him up and figure out why did he have a 3-year stay? Hang on. Okay, so execution. There we go. Oops, got to spell it properly. Okay. So Antonio Franklin was given a 3-year stay in the state of Ohio. We're going to figure out why did he get a 3-year stay? Why some people get stays and some people don't? That is the question I have. Antonio Franklin received a long execution postponement because Ohio effectively paused executions for years amid ongoing legal and pharmaceutical problems involving lethal injection drugs. His execution date had originally been scheduled for January the 12th of 2023, but Ohio moved to February 11th of 2026. But they still have a stay. Nobody's getting executed in Ohio. The delay was not primarily because his conviction was overturned. Instead, Ohio officials, including Mike Governor DeWine, repeatedly postponed execution statewide because the state struggles to obtain the drugs and face continuing litigation over execution protocols. Courts across the country have also been reviewing competency, mental illness, and Eighth Amendment claims in many of the death penalty cases. Franklin's defense history also includes significant mental health allegations. Reports describe claims of severe mental health illness, paranoia, and the possible psychosis dating back to his teenage years. So, when they have these extended execution dates stayed, like the ones for 3 years, then we know that it must be that the state is no longer participating or they're having legal issues as to why these people are not executed. But let's go back over here. I want to get something here. I want to go back up here and we're going to go to research. Hang on. Now, let's look at the innocence database because we know that there have been many people executed that were believed to be innocent. So we're going to look at some of these names right here. Make sure you can see this right here. Okay, there it is. So we're going to take a look at this. Here we go. Um, Elwood Jones in Ohio. In 1996, he was exonerated in 2025. He had been 29 years. Charges were dismissed. False or misleading forensic evidence, official misconduct, insufficient evidence, and there was no DNA. I want you to think about that statement. There was no DNA. And then we're going to go back and talk about another case. Robert A. Melloff, Illinois. In 1989, he was convicted. In 2023, he was exonerated. 34 years. Charges were dismissed. It was a false confession, perjury or false accusations, false or misleading forensic evidence, and official misconduct. No DNA. Okay? Larry Roberts, out of California. 1983, he was convicted. In 2024, he was exonerated. 41 years. Okay, 41 years. Charges were dropped. Perjury or false accusations, official misconduct, no DNA. See, DNA is very important when you are going to give somebody the death penalty. You better have some DNA proving that they were there, or they touched them, they touched the gun, they did something that shows they are guilty and the reason why somebody is no longer alive. David Rorter, Texas, 1978. In 1989, he was exonerated. 11 years. Charges dismissed, official misconduct, and no DNA. Now, this one's kind of an interesting situation because it was Kerry Max Cook. This was in Texas. In 1978, he was he was put on trial and he got the death penalty. In 2024, he was exonerated. 46 years. Okay, 46 years. But he had an appellate acquittal, mistaken witness identification, perjury or false accusations, false or misleading forensic evidence, official misconduct, and yes, there was DNA. There was DNA to prove it was not him. Okay. Then we're going to look at Daniel Gwynn out of Pennsylvania. In 1995, he was convicted. In 2024, he was exonerated. 29 years. And charges were dismissed. Mistaken witness identification, false confession, official misconduct, and no DNA. See, I mean, let me see how many of these there are. Okay, there's quite a few of these guys. We're not gonna be, look, we're not gonna be able to read all 5 pages. But there are 250 people. This is 250 people that have been exonerated after they've been on death row. And if you took the years that they waited, look, Daryl Wayne Hodgkins out of Florida only spent 2 years, and he was insufficient evidence, appellate acquittal. So I mean, there's lots of times that the mistake is made and the wrong person could absolutely be um, executed if they did not do the work to find out if they are innocent or not innocent, if they don't spend the time to actually look at the case and every part of the case. I just wanted to look at that for a second. I want to look at that for a second and explain, a little bit about the death row, what states have death row, why some cases are not, why some cases are on hold, etc. But our main focus really is on Timothy Jones tonight. Now, I don't understand. We're going to look at, let me pull this back up over here. Hang on, guys. Let me unshare that screen, and we're going to pull up something else. Come over here. I'm going to pull up some YouTube. Hang on. And we're going to look back at we're going to look at his actual interview. Here we go. Oh, boy. Hello. Let me pull it back up. Get me some water. I forgot to get water before I came up here. I was like, oh boy, I'm going to go do a little live show. We're going to take a little bit of time to do a live show. Now, let's pull up Timmy Jones confession. All right. Now, I want to find his police confession, and I don't want to show it the one from court, but we might have to. Hang on just a second, guys. Okay, the strangest interrogation you've ever seen. That's not him. All right, here we go. Let's go back up here. Okay, confession. Let me see if I can pull it up this way. We're going to play the full audio of his confession. So let me put this here and hang on. All right, here we go. And this is going to be full credit to News 19 WLTX. Okay, so hold on. Let's give full credit where full credit is due for fair use. Okay. News 19. WL. I think it's WLTX. Let me make sure I have that right. Yes, WLTX. All right. Here we go. Now, we're going to listen to his confession, the full confession. You know we have to stop every once in a while for fair use. But the reason why I want to play this is because we're going to talk about his competency and the reason why now they're concerned about his competency, but they let him stand trial. Here we go. Hang on. Here we go. Here we go. That's too loud. Let me know. I need to share my screen. Hello.
Sir. All right. Can you walk us through what happened?
I questioned the town about 4 outlets that he blew. After a series of not getting any favorable responses out of him, I tried to use more harsh measures to just try to get out of him what was going on because I didn't know what he was doing. I seen 4 destroyed outlets. Is it for me, him? Was he curious? I just didn't know what was going on, and I was trying to make sense of it. I worked too hard, or maybe it was a combination of the electricity.
Reminder, this child is 6 years old that this man is using this type of punishment on. 6 years old. Here we go.
I know electricity takes electrolytes out of your body. Something happened. It was out of the ordinary, and he wouldn't tell me. If I would have known it, I would have gotten medical help and whatnot, but I don't know what he did. He didn't tell me. I didn't see any burn marks on his body, so that's why I didn't rush him to the hospital. So after the fact, he was deceased.
And then what happened to him?
How did he get deceased? What did you do?
I sent him to bed after I worked him real hard because he wouldn't answer me.
And what do you mean by working him too hard?
I just PT'd his ass till he couldn't handle it. Tried cracking him on butt a couple times to get something out of him to tell me what was he doing.
Right.
What's his motive?
And when you're saying PT, and what are we talking about?
Squats and push-ups.
Squats, push-ups. How long were you having him PT?
PT like an hour. Like I said, there's nothing out of the ordinary.
And that was a lie right there, and I'll explain to you why. Because he tells them that this child was made to do 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats in sets of 10. That takes longer than an hour for a 6-year-old child. So he's lying to them right there. Let's keep going.
Those kids would do insanity with me. We had fun doing it.
And where did he go from? You're doing this where in the house? Where you PTing?
This was in the living room, and then I finally got tired of it and sent him to bed. Okay, to bed. You're not telling me the truth. I can't help you. Go to bed, man. You're wasting everybody's time.
And then you find out what?
I come back and find out that he's deceased. And when I find out he's deceased, then the shit hits the fan and all.
How does the shit hit the fan, Tim?
The voices start going off, and then here comes the paranoia. Oh shit! What just happened? What just happened?
Okay. It was not about voices going off. It was a matter of, something happened. He's now gone. I can't explain this to no one. I'm going to have to do something to cover my ass. That is what really happened here. There were no voices in his head. Let's get that straight. Here we go.
This ain't gonna go. I can't call, but I got all these voices running through my head now.
And then what happens, Tim? What did you tell us earlier? So Natan was dead, and then what happened?
And I followed suit with the other 4.
And how did you kill
that
them,
was
Tim?
with my hands.
With your hands? Can you describe what you mean by with your hands?
Around their neck.
Around their neck? Okay.
Who was next?
Oh, God.
I'm just gonna pick the order so I don't have to go into too much detail.
Okay. Just tell us the order.
Tan, Mira, Elias, Gabriel. Wait. Tan, Eli, Mira, Gabriel, Elaine.
And when did you say this was, Tim? What date? You told us earlier.
Thursday, I think. They were supposed to go to school Friday and they didn't go because, well, they couldn't go.
Because
Yeah.
they were dead. Let's be honest.
And you said also that this happened where?
At the house.
Can you tell me what that address was?
2155B, South Lake Drive.
What county is that in, Tim?
Lexington, South Carolina.
Lexington, South Carolina? Okay.
Where in the house did you say these happened at? In the house?
The bedroom, or not bedroom, the living room.
Okay. What did you do earlier? You said when you would strangle them. What would you do with the bodies at that point?
At that point, I was just running on fear and I wasn't thinking. Any normal person would.
It was not fear he's running on. He's running on, how am I going to cover this up? What explanation am I going to give? What can I do to not be put in prison for this? To not get blamed for this. The excuses he used is ridiculous. But here we go.
I said, let me call the police and just turn myself in.
Okay.
I took the coward route and started following those voices in my head, which led me down such a nice path I'm on today.
And what did you do then
What do you mean?
with the bodies?
I put them in bags and threw them on the hill.
Okay, no. When you're in the house.
Oh, loaded.
He just lied right there too, about what he did. There's a little more to this, because some of it, I believe, was actually premeditated. And I'll tell you why. Because before he took the lives of the little ones, the other four, he had went to the store and picked up some supplies. But we'll let him keep talking. This is his confession.
I just loaded them in the car.
Did you put them in a bag at that time?
I don't know. I
Okay.
was just 5 dead bodies.
You put them in the vehicle. What type of vehicle was that?
Cadillac Escalade.
All right. And what do you do from there?
I started driving out of fear.
Tim, tell us, what was your original plan to do with the bodies? Now that we've had a chance to talk about it.
I don't know what my original plan was. I had so many thoughts going through my mind.
What were some of them? Because you wrote some notes and you bought some
I had
supplies.
100 different thoughts about what I could do.
Okay.
I don't want to sit and incriminate myself, but
No,
I
you're fine.
had a bunch of different things. I've wanted.
We went over this, but part of your plan was to do what? The bodies.
I think originally I intended to go do all that stuff that I wrote down on the paper, but
Which
then I
was
couldn't
what?
bring myself to it.
Right.
What tried
What was it?
to do stuff to just get rid of the corpse.
Do you remember what step one was?
Like dissolve them or something like that. I was gonna cut them up. And
You're gonna.
I was gonna do all kinds of stuff.
Did you write down that you were gonna burn the bodies?
I think I was gonna burn them. Yeah.
And you were going to. What was step two?
Boil them, or I forget what it was. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't remember everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you write that you were gonna?
I wrote stuff down that it was in the context of that time, but
All right. Was it something that you were going to cut the bodies up?
something I could bring myself to do. Yes.
All right. Let's take a look
All
here.
right, Tim, while he's looking that up, I also want to clarify when you last saw Christina, your next door neighbor.
Oh, when I last saw her, the kids were actually still around.
She said she spoke to you on the second.
She talked to me.
She
Yeah.
talked to you on the second.
When I last seen her.
Mm-hmm. And the children, so she talked to you on the phone then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the children were
And I
deceased
lied. And I lied to her and told the kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I want to go through this real quick with you. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but we went over this. What is day one?
Burn up bodies.
What's day two?
Saw down bones.
What's day three?
MB smiley face. Dissolve and discard.
Okay, so your initial plan was to do these things with their bodies.
That was one of them. I told you there's other stuff. That just happened to be the one that's materialized. I had a million thoughts going through my
Okay.
mind.
You know, as we listen to him tell this story, I mean, you notice he sounds like he's kind of crying a little bit. Then all of a sudden he stops. He just starts talking to the cop like it's normal. Yeah, I mean, I do believe there is some kind of mental illness here, and I will say that I do believe maybe this dude is like a sociopath, to be honest with you, because there's so many things that happen in this case that to us is so unimaginable. But to him, he could just tell this without. It's crazy. We'll just keep listening to him for right now. Here you go.
Let's go over this. This is what?
Head of the campground, no bodies, and send bodies to dust or small discard by a sanitation plant.
Okay, so these are some of the things that were going through your head?
That's just a small amount of stuff that was going through my head, yes.
Did you write this before or after you killed the children?
After.
After?
I wasn't premeditating this, no.
Okay.
This was not premeditated. This was a, oh shit, what just happened?
So you had the bodies in the vehicle. Did you write this in your house, in the car? Where did you write these notes?
That was on the back of a clipboard in the house, I think. Yeah, I would think that would have been in the house. I'm not good at writing and driving.
Okay. Did you do this before or after you put the bodies in the car?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry, those details I don't remember.
Now, we had also gone through some of what you went and purchased, and specifically at the Walmart. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can find the receipt for that.
Drug of choice and nicotine.
What did you purchase at the Walmart?
I don't remember. Which Walmart?
This would have been the one in West Columbia.
Pull up the receipt, I don't remember.
Okay. Did you buy a saw there?
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay. Did you buy? Let's go over this receipt here. This receipt is going to be from Gusser Road in West Columbia.
Okay.
All right. And the date here is 9/3. So this is after, because what happened to the children was on Thursday.
What day was that?
Is that correct? That's the 28th.
That makes sense.
Now 9/3, this is on Wednesday, so this is after the weekend. And where have them children been the whole time?
With me.
Where?
Drive around a vehicle, I think.
Where are they though?
They're with me in the car.
Okay, they're all in the back?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in the middle, not back. So back implies the back where you open it.
And you told me earlier you had them covered up in some sheets or blankets.
Yeah, I do blankets and a shitload of air freshener.
So you have their bodies there. You go and you purchase.
Now let's talk about competency for just a minute. He knows he's done wrong. He knows he has to hide this. He knows he's got to make sure the smell's not, coming up. He's got to wrap them up. He's got to take care of this somehow. He's driving around because he doesn't want nobody to find them. I mean, you're going to tell me that you think that there's something wrong with him? You're going to tell me you think he heard voices? No, I don't believe so. But let's talk about something for just a second. It is important to distinguish between the finding of incompetency, which may delay executions indefinitely or lead to for them to be commuted, and juvenile commutions. Now, we know that President Biden, in December 24, commuted the death sentence of 37 federal inmates to life without parole. While some of those individuals had documented mental health issues, the commutations were a broad policy of action rather than individual determinations. Now, there's pre-existing vulnerabilities as well. Of the people actually executed in 2025, approximately 83% of them had significant vulnerabilities such as severe mental illness or brain injuries, suggesting many remain competent by legal standards despite their serious impairments. So there have been, let me go back up here. While thousands of death sentences have been overturned for various reasons, the specifically spared due to incompetency at the time of execution are relatively rare, right? The total successful claims of this has identified 28 claimants in the U.S. who were found incompetent to be executed after they had been sentenced, had appeals, and were denied appeals or their convictions were affirmed. 28 people. Among those cases where the court actually decides on the merits of a competency claim rather than dismissing it on procedural grounds. That success rate is about 22% of them. It is estimated that 5 to 10% of the total death row population currently suffers from severe mental illness that could potentially trigger a competency evaluation. Okay, we'll let him keep talking here. Here we go.
What? Walk me through what you're purchasing here.
I don't know where that rose.
All right. What's this?
A dust mask,
This is actually Gatorade, but
Oh.
dusk mask,
some goggles, and some hand saws,
some jab saw, it says,
and a multi-saw.
multi-saw. What's this here?
Some muriatic acid,
And what's this here?
I think a 5-gallon pail.
All right. Were you purchasing this stuff at that time because you initially thought you might be able to go through with this?
Partially, and then I couldn't bring myself.
You just couldn't do it. Okay. So one of the next receipts we kind of talked.
He couldn't bring himself to do it, but he could dump the bodies in the bags out in another state, in the woods, to speed up the process of right? Hoping that they would not be found until the decomp was bad enough they wouldn't be able to figure out who the children were. And I don't know what he thought he was going to do between then and now when he showed back up at his house and went back to work and there were no children, right? Here we go.
About is going to be several days later.
I had these thoughts in my head to try to do this, and then I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Okay. Now we go to the following day. This is going to be the 4th. This is at the Dollar General store, and we're still in Orangeburg, South Carolina. What do you purchase there that we spoke about?
Excuse me.
What's this here?
Some bad trash bags.
Trash bags. Why'd you buy those trash bags? To do what now? Put the bodies in.
Okay, but then to throw some of my own trash out too.
Okay.
I had a lot of stuff in the vehicle I was trying to throw out.
No, he bought the trash bags to cover up what he had done. It wasn't about the trash in his house. It was about what he had done. Let's get that straight. Don't get confused. Here we go.
Now, you said you're just driving around. You have the bodies in the car, and where are you going at that time?
Nowhere, I guess, because in my mind I'm just running. I have nowhere to go.
Because you didn't plan this.
I didn't plan this. No, it's just like
Spontaneous.
This is spontaneous, and I just fucked up my whole life.
Okay.
One bad incident, and I'm not following through with what I should have, and I.
Now we spent some time really trying to figure out where your children are at.
Yeah.
What did we kind of come up with?
Looking somewhere on Route 10 between, I think, Greenville and Campbell.
Well, let's go back to September 5th,
Yeah.
Friday night. What did you tell us happened Friday night?
September 5th.
That was when you said your vehicle got stuck?
Yeah, so
Tell us about that.
I pulled off to the side at somebody's house to try to collect myself to see where I was at.
Yeah.
And in the process of pulling back onto the road, I got stuck in a
You got
ditch.
stuck, and what happened?
The tow truck had come out. He called a wrecker.
All right. Did you have any law
Think
enforcement
about this.
contact that night?
Think about this. A wrecker has come out and pulled him out because he's stuck. He's got 5 dead bodies in that vehicle with him. And nobody noticed anything. Nobody? Here we go.
A law enforcement just showed up on his own. He was patrolling, and
Okay. Can you describe what he looked like?
probably about maybe 5'10", shaved hair, Caucasian male.
Okay.
But when you have contact with this officer, where are your children?
In the car.
Okay, they're dead in the car.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they're still where you set them.
Yes, sir.
What's going on in that car since they've been sitting for so long? I mean, you kill them on Thursday.
No, they weren't sitting there.
Oh, Lord.
Some of the time, I took a couple days and just stayed home.
Okay. Did you leave them in the vehicle?
Or were they in the house at that time?
I think they were in the vehicle, and I was just sitting there.
Not what you think. We want to know
No, I
what
mean,
the
I
truth
believe
is.
I believed that they were in the vehicle.
But you're
and I was
talking about the weekend it happened.
Yes, and I was just sitting there thinking, what am I going to do?
Okay. Well,
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Does this tie this together? Because that's what I'm trying to tell you what I know.
sure.
Yeah,
So
Tim.
all I'm saying from that Thursday, though, the 28th, and you say after all this happens, you place their bodies in the vehicle.
Yes.
Between then and the time you come in contact with the officer, and that would be Friday on September 5th, So we have over a week's time that has passed by. Your children are still in the vehicle. Is that correct?
What date?
Friday, when you have contact
Yeah,
with the
so the
law.
next Saturday was, yeah.
Okay, so they're in the vehicle the whole time. What's kind of happening in the vehicle? As far as how does it smell in there?
Stinks like shit.
Oh God.
What's happening with the children? You're telling me before.
The blood was probably just coming out of their bodies because I just left them in there. And I believe that, well, as far as I know, I think when your body dies, blood and water separate. I think that's...
Now, we had asked, because you purchased the saws and everything, had you used any of the saws on your children?
I think I tried to start on that time and I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Okay. And we'll get to where that happens. Had you tried with any of the other children?
Mm-mm.
No?
He was kind of the whole center of this thing.
Mm-hmm. He's what kind of started this all.
He triggered us all.
If he would have told you what happened to the outlet.
Then we go into victim blaming. Did you catch that? Well, he's the center of it all. Well, he's the one that started it. No, the victims never started. We don't victim blame. But see, that just tells you what kind of piece of shit this man really is, and the length and the depth that he will go to not take responsibility. But we'll let him keep talking here. Just, oh Lord.
That night.
I would have went and acted appropriately to try to help him.
None of this would have happened.
I think he didn't tell me because I think it was intended for me. I think that's why it would make sense for him not to tell me.
So let me ask you,
What was intended for you,
have
bud?
contact with the law enforcement officer Friday night. The children are still in the vehicle. That would have been on the 5th.
The 5th, yes.
Saturday's when you get picked up here.
The 6th.
That's going to be the 6th. That's Saturday. But that Saturday morning, we look at this receipt. And this is where?
The Greenville, Alabama.
Greenville, Alabama. And what, do you remember what you buy there?
10 packs of cigarettes and some Zuzus and Wham Whams.
Okay. And I just see groceries, so I don't know what you purchased there.
Yeah, candy bars.
And if the time on the receipt is correct, it's telling us 8:18 in the morning.
Yep.
Your children, they're still in the vehicle with you. You're positive about that on Saturday.
Not the whole day, yeah.
Okay. At that time, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go from Greenville, Alabama, and then the next receipt we have is Camden, Alabama. And what do you do in Camden?
I pulled some money out. I was intending to go to Vegas.
Okay. And you take out $500?
$500.
All right. Now, that time is at 1:06 p.m.
So he's going to dump these children, and then he's going to go on over to Vegas and just have a good time gambling. That's what his plan is. But listen, he's telling you he's hearing voices, and he's trying to claim that he's mentally ill and that he's got schizophrenia, etc. Here we go.
At that point, were the children in your vehicle?
I don't believe they were. I think that they were gone.
You already disposed of them?
Pretty sure.
Okay,
All right.
so
With that in mind, can you describe to me what you were telling me earlier about where you disposed of your children at?
They're in some wooded road, log truck looking thing off on the side in bags.
Was it a 2-lane road that this was off of?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. You said it was a heavily wooded area?
It was heavily wooded. It looked like if you went up in the area where I did, it was either like some of the trees got knocked out of the way, like people potentially either starting to clear it, or maybe somebody came through there and was bulldozing up ATV path or something. I don't know. It wasn't something that was incorporated. That's kind of what I would say. It was unincorporated.
Unincorporated.
your children, you do what once you get to this location?
Put them in bags and put them on the side.
Okay. Tell us about Natan. Does this happen there? Or did this happen in a separate place? Where
you said you started to cut them.
You started.
This happened there.
Where did it happen? In the vehicle? Outside of the vehicle?
Outside of the vehicle.
And what do you do?
I began to try to saw a leg, and I couldn't bring myself to finish it. I can't do that.
How far did you get?
Maybe about that far, and I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that to him.
Okay. So you did not cut his leg off.
No.
What did you do with his body?
I just put him in the bag and said, I gotta sit you guys over there. I said a prayer for him and walked away.
Okay. Did you place each child in a separate bag? And then did you walk them a couple at a time or one at a time? Which is it?
A couple at a time.
Couple at a time?
Just however many trips it took to get 5 of them over there.
Now, we asked if they're going to be essentially all together, if they put them in different places.
No, I put them in the same place. If somebody didn't check the bags and they started looking in there, moving around, I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
For all I know, they may not be there.
Okay.
I'm not lying to you that much. I'm telling you the truth. I don't know what happened, obviously, between where I put them and the time I'm here now. I don't know if somebody went back and...
You said they just look like they're a pile.
I don't know if somebody went back and did what. You're the only person there. You're the one that dropped them off there. Nobody else knows they're there. So who would go and do what? You see, I mean, this guy. Oh God, here we go. Well, let's keep watching. We got to keep watching.
5 garbage bags.
5 garbage. So it looks like they're just garbage in there. Okay. So what do you do then? Do you try to hide the bags at all?
I just put them off to the side. I knew there was no hiding bags. There ain't no hiding this. I'm gonna get caught. It's just a matter of time. I'm buying myself time. I'm gonna get caught.
So you go. You don't try to hide the. In other words, you don't cover the bags up, but you go back to your vehicle, and from your vehicle,
I just drove aimlessly,
and then
I say aimlessly. I was in an aimless path toward Las Vegas. That's why I was doing this, and that explained me going around the major cities.
All right.
And it explains my line of travel, maybe.
Until you get here in Smith County.
And then I didn't intend to get and then that's when everything blows up in my face.
Now you were telling us that was actually in the car was not Spice, but they are called.
This is Scooby Snacks.
Okay.
You said locally in Lexington County, you bought those from where?
Time Warp.
Time Warp.
And what do they kind of do for you?
They calm the voices down inside my head to let me be at peace and not act on them.
They kind of give you the same high as what drug? I think you're talking about
It's like marijuana in the sense that it gives you a high, but it's not the high that I'm looking for. It's the effect of quieting this. It's medication. I know that sounds stupid as heck, but that's why I need to see a doctor.
Okay.
Okay, so he needs to see a doctor. He's going to tell us all about that. And he had to get those Scooby Snacks to quiet those voices in his head that he says he had. But now, did the voices also walk him in to buy the bags and the song and all that too? I mean, it just doesn't go together. I know that he knows he did this. He knows he did. I'm just kind of concerned about why he was competent to stand trial, but now he is not competent enough to execute. Tell me how this is going to work. Let's go. We'll keep listening.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, this will answer a lot of that.
Sure.
You have any other questions?
Well, what I want to do, we'll go through this, but as we've done this today, nobody has threatened you today, and we'll go over this in this forum. Is that correct?
Yes.
And do you think we treated you fair today?
Yes.
All right. You've done the same for us. Have you been completely honest with us?
Yes.
Now, one thing though, you didn't tell us about taking that saw to Natan, not until we started this tape. You had not mentioned that. But I told you we're gonna perform autopsies on your children. We're gonna find them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me the 4 children, 4 of them, we're gonna find out that they were suffocated. Now you're grabbing your hands, you're putting them around your throat. That's what you did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you suffocated them? Did you put a pillow over that?
No.
No. All right. If you could just say out loud what you're doing.
I use my hands to suffocate my kids.
Is there anything else we need to know, Tim, about what happened to him? Anything you may have attempted to do to him afterward? Used a belt too? How'd you use a belt? Around their necks? Did you do that with all 5 children? No.
With who?
Who did you use the belt on?
I forget which ones.
Okay.
I used it as.
You can't forget which
What
no.
is the autopsy going to show with Natan?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Did you use the belt on him?
It's gonna. I don't know. I didn't use the belt on him. No, I came in and he was gone, and that's when I went into panic mode, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not sure what the autopsy will show for Natan?
I don't know what it's gonna show. I don't know what actually was. I don't know what his actual cause of death was. That's just the point. And I didn't want to go. I was afraid I was going to just get myself locked up.
Yeah.
Did you use the belt on Eli?
I don't think I did. I think it was just bare hands. I'm
What,
not 100% sure. I don't want to lie to you. Those memories
Yeah,
are
right.
clouded.
well, what about
Sure.
who do you remember using the belt on?
Babies.
On the babies?
Who were the babies, Tim?
Pardon?
Gabriel and Elaine, is that correct? Elaine is also known as Abigail, right? Okay.
And when you say the belt, you put the belt around their.
I used to strangle them.
You used to strangle. Why didn't you use your hands with them?
I don't know. At that point, I
Yes, you do.
wasn't thinking. At that point, I was just thinking, run, get rid of the bodies, and you're fucked, Tim.
Were the older children? Did they put up a fight?
I mean, what person's not?
Right.
You told us earlier that Eli said something to you before you killed him. What did he say to you?
Take me with, Dad.
What do you think Eli meant when he said that?
I think he just wanted to go where I was. He knew the time was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and straighten it out right now. He says, well, I just found him dead from the PT. That's not true. The child was actually strangled. The child was strangled. And it was out of a rage over whatever the deal with these electrical outlets were. And what doesn't make any sense to me is how you killed all 5 of your children because one of them tampered with the electrical outlet. Please tell me how and why somebody could do something like this, because it makes no sense at all. And it's pathetic and sad, you piece of shit. We'll keep going.
So they.
I don't know exactly what he meant by that. I mean, I don't know where he thought I was going. I didn't even know where I was going at that time. This is just happening. It's like in my mind, I don't know what to do now.
Did any of the other children say anything before you killed them?
Trigger warning.
Gabriel said, I love you.
Very trigger warning.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's a question I was gonna. We're gonna ask you here, because we've gone over all this, and you've been honest with us. Are we going to find any of the other children cut up at all? No? You didn't try to burn them at all?
I can't replace them.
Tim, what
Okay.
what about the bleach in the vehicle when you got
to
stopped?
cover up the blood.
To cover up the blood?
But I also, no, in honest truth, I do like bleach because it makes stuff smell clean.
So you're probably trying to get rid of some of that odor.
Not just that. I mean, no. So I mean, I would carry it around in the car even if before because I like bleach and made stuff
Okay.
clean. You want to go?
Oh, sure.
It was just
Okay.
You're also willing to go with us to try to locate the bodies?
I am, but like I said, I don't know how productive that's going to be. I don't want you guys to get out there. Oh, you're pissing around, wasting our time. I'm not. I mean, I drive, but forgive me, part of that's a blank.
All right, Tim, we ran through these questions earlier. You've heard them all, so there's no surprises. Unfortunately, we got to do it again because of the issue with the recorder. First question is, do you know where you are?
Yes.
Where is that?
Smith County.
Smith County? Do you know who you are?
Tim Jones.
Tim Jones, what's your date of birth, Tim?
12/28/1.
You know why we've been talking to you?
Trying to find out what happened to my kids.
Okay. Do you understand that you've just confessed to a crime?
Yes.
Do you understand that your confession will be used against you in
Yes.
court? Did you confess voluntarily?
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you if you didn't confess?
No.
Can you speak a little louder?
No.
No? What do you think will happen to you as a result of confessing to a crime?
I have no clue.
No clue? Okay, fair enough. Why did you decide to confess?
I didn't do the right thing.
To do the right thing? That's exactly what you told me earlier. Do you feel guilty about the crime which you just confessed to?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. If so, why?
I felt that I took measures that were extreme, not necessary because of fear. I fear my life because of kids.
Okay.
I took unnecessary measures out of fear of my life, only concerned about himself. Right here. He took the other 4, trying to say that the first one was found deceased, which we know is a lie. He did strangle that child. He did all of it. Out of what? Selfishness? What? What is it, dude? What? He's competent while he's talking to the police officers doing his interview. He's competent in this trial. Why are we not so sure that he's incompetent? Why is he getting a competency evaluation now before they proceed with the death penalty. They're not going to do the death penalty. I'm going to tell you that I'm 99% sure he will get commuted to life in prison because he's not competent. That's what's going to happen. But we'll keep watching. Here we go.
Did you do the crime on purpose?
Natan was an accident.
He was an accident.
That was really an accident. I was just trying to find out what was going on. If you look at that picture of me holding my little son, yeah, it's just picture of me with the older one trying to say, son, what's going on? And he wouldn't tell me, and I don't know if he was messing with the stuff, and so the PT took him over the edge.
Natan was an accident, but you murdered the other 4 children.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you do that? We talked about this earlier.
The voices started kicking and said, you better do something. You're fucked now, Tim.
Okay. What were you trying to accomplish by doing this crime?
Just trying to flee because I knew my time was short. I was going to get in trouble anyway. I'm not good at being bad. I'm not a good criminal.
When did you decide to do this?
After Natan had been gone, I started listening to what was going on in my head, and I carried it out. I didn't carry out everything because if I did, I would have carried out what was on those papers. That's the stuff that comes out of my head.
What did you think about your children, just in general?
I think that they were going to.
That is not voices of somebody who's mentally ill. That is actually him deciding within himself how I'm going to cover this up. So I don't want to hear him talk about those voices. All that is you're trying to figure out how you're going to cover this up. Stop that line. Here we go.
Have issues like me.
Issues like you? Okay.
What do you mean issues
I
like
think that
you?
they were going to have issues from not only from a broken home. I think that there's genetic diseases I think that there was some things that my dad, if you guys had seen yesterday, he doesn't know about my mom.
Yeah.
I think that there's things I know about my mom, even though I wasn't around when that happened, because I think I've got some of what she has.
What kind of people do you think the children were when you committed the crime? I understand this is a weird question for what we're talking about, but we had to ask it earlier too.
I think they were conspiring.
Think they were conspiring against you?
It seems to make the most sense to me. I mean, why else would somebody go do something like that and not tell me what he's doing?
Do you understand that you...
Once again, victim blaming a 6-year-old child. A 6-year-old child. Here we go.
Sorry, I'm getting behind myself. When you did this, did you think your actions could hurt the children?
Yes.
Yes? So you knew that what you were doing to the children was going to...
I knew that what I was
harm and protect their lives.
It was to protect myself.
Okay.
I know that sounds fucking pathetic.
When you did this crime, did you know it was wrong?
At the time, I didn't think any of it was wrong. It happened, and just I'm happenstance, and let me finish it up now.
Okay. When you did the...
I didn't think it was wrong, but I had to hide all the evidence. I had to hide what I've done, but I didn't think it was wrong. Oh, give me a break. Here we go.
crime, did you know it was against the law?
At the time, I didn't think about the law, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
The law didn't come into my mind. I wasn't caring about the law. I'm dealing with dead children on my hands. Fuck the law. I'm in trouble, man. My kid's dead.
Yeah. Did you think you might get caught?
No, you're fine.
I knew I was going to get caught. I'm not a good criminal. It was a matter of time.
Gotcha. Why did you think that? Just because you weren't a good criminal?
I'm not a good... Grandma's told me something that's the truth. Tim, you ain't... I told it to my kids, too. You guys ain't good being bad, so be good.
What did you do to protect yourself from getting caught?
Just drive and try to disguise the bags. And then get rid of the stuff at the house.
What all did you get rid of at the house?
Everything. I gave them
You're just saying your general possessions.
Yeah, I just didn't think about keeping my stuff anymore. Well, hell with it.
Yeah.
I gave all my stuff away. I mean, my life's over. That's what I thought about it.
Have there been times you wanted to do something like this but decided against it?
I mean, I've had these thoughts, but none of this happened until this actually materialized. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, why didn't you do that in the past if you've had...
I had the thoughts of taking their lives before, but I didn't do it until just now. Okay, what does that tell you about him? Yeah, if you've had thoughts about it before, then you premeditate. You've had thoughts about it. To me, that's premeditated. Here we go.
had these thoughts before?
Why didn't I?
Yes.
Good God.
I didn't have any reason to act on them.
No reason to act on them? Okay. Would you have done this if a uniformed officer had been standing next to you?
Yes.
Even
I wouldn't have cared. No, man.
elbow to elbow with you would have still
I wouldn't have cared, yeah.
No, that is a lie. He would not have done this with a uniformed officer standing right there beside him. Hell no, he would not have. See, once again, victim blaming. Well, we'll keep going.
And here's why. At that point in time, I didn't care because I saw myself as a damn target. And I saw him as having a gun in his hand, if you will. I know he was a kid, but that's how I saw it. Like,
6 years old.
shit. He's
And
out to get me.
when you say him, you're talking about
Natan,
Natan. And how old is Natan?
6 years old.
6 years old. Did anyone tell you to do this?
The voices inside my
Voices
head.
in your head. And just confirm the
God.
voices in your head are not God.
They're not God. No, God would. No, this ain't Isaac and Abraham.
Okay. When you did this, did you know that society would condemn your actions, even if they knew everything that you know?
I mean, at the time, I sort of didn't care.
You didn't care? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I felt like I was marked for dead, if you will, and I was just acting accordingly.
Did you have any strange or unusual mental experiences around the time of the crime?
Yes, of course.
If so, what were they and when did they begin?
When he told me what he said,
Yes.
all kinds of stuff started triggering, and then I worked harder to get out of him to try to see if maybe I could put it back together. And then I realized that he's not doing this per se he's not telling me what's going on because it appears he's got something intended for me, and he doesn't want me to know that it's right for me.
This is a 6-year-old child. 6-year-old children do not know how to manipulate electricity into hurting anybody. Now, this is ridiculous on his part. And once again, victim blaming. Why in the world would you sit there and say things like this about a 6-year-old child? What? Okay, we'll keep going.
Yeah, because normally they're pretty apt to tell me the truth, and if they don't, I give them a couple squats and a push up, and they spit it out. He ain't doing that, which means there's some motive that he does not want me.
Is that why you pushed him so hard?
Yes, I tried pushing more. Give me some more, a little more pressure. Maybe he'll just tell me what's going on. That's always worked before, and so the fact that it didn't work this time tells me that there was something that he didn't want me to know.
When he got pushed to his limit, did he just pass out right there, or what happened?
He went to bed and he was tired.
He went to bed and he just never woke up.
And then I came back to check on him and he wasn't breathing. I said, "Oh shit, what have I done? My kid's dead in my hand. They're gonna think I murdered him. I just BT'd him. He's fucking with the owl. I don't know what happened to him." And then all sorts of stuff starts triggering in my head, and that's like the other 4 become a victim.
Tim, have you ever heard or seen things that weren't really there?
Yes.
If so, has this been when taking drugs?
Both, with or without drugs.
With and without drugs? What did you see or hear?
I've seen people. I've had conversation. I've started to talk with people when there's nobody in the room.
You told me shapes earlier.
I'll see shapes, but it's the strangest thing. I'll see shapes and things materialize that aren't real.
Has this happened while we've been talking to you tonight?
Yes.
What have you seen while you were talking to us tonight?
Well, I see people.
What kind of people do you see?
Just normal, everyday people. I don't talk to them because if you guys are going to.
He sees normal, everyday people. Well, yes, you're talking to police officers. They're normal, everyday people, mister. So here we go. A conspiracy theory. Think about this. Jones thinks that this child who's 6 years old had a conspiracy theory to hurt him, to tamper with the electrical outlet so that Jones would be electrocuted. Okay? Perceived threats of electrocution. Jones told investigators he suspected that this child was breaking the electrical outlets because the boy had something intended for him. He expressed feelings that he was marked for dead and that the child was a specific threat to his life. And then all of this started as self-defense. It was self-defense for him to take out that 6-year-old child because the child was targeting him to be electrocuted by messing with those electrical outlets. This was not an accident. You choked the child. Quit saying the PT killed him because that's not what killed him. But let's keep going.
Start talking to me, not them, dude. If you pay attention to what's going on in my cell, I get so nutty, I start talking to him.
Mm-hmm. Did this happen the day of the crime?
Called malingering.
Yes.
What did you see the day of the crime? Did you see people?
Oh, I think you're talking about I'm sorry, this goes back to the
just
voices.
The voices? Okay.
Yeah, the voices ran rampant in my head. And there was no space for logic to talk. They were so loud that the logic was quiet. And
I understand. Do you have any ideas or beliefs that other people think are crazy? If so, what are they?
I'm a Freemason.
A Freemason? Okay.
Okay, wait.
I don't know, they probably think
All right, now we need to figure out What does Freemason have to do with somebody thinking that he is crazy? Let's take a look and try to figure that part out. I mean, this is, and hang on. Damn. Here we go. I don't know why he's trying to put those two together, but we're going to try to figure that out. Here we go. Let's see. There is no report that Timothy Jones Jr. was ever a Freemason. All right, none. His defense team argued extensively that he was crazy, legally insane, due to undiagnosed schizophrenia at the time that he took the lives of the children. So he's trying this insanity defense. So I don't know why he's bringing up the counter argument, drug-induced psychosis. A court-appointed psychiatrist, Dr. Richard Frierson, testified that Jones did not have schizophrenia. Instead, he was diagnosed Jones with a substance-induced psychotic disorder caused by extreme use of spice, which is a synthetic Mary Jane, which can cause paranoias and hallucinations. And he also found malingering allegations. Okay, prosecutors argued that Jones was not insane, but was faking it or exaggerating symptoms to avoid the death penalty. This cited his ability to hold high-paying jobs as a software engineer at Intel and his rational efforts to cover up the crimes as proof he knew right from wrong. See? So he's not a Freemason. He never was a Freemason, and I don't know why he's trying to bring that into it. We'll keep going.
My thoughts about exercise are nuts, but I mean, I tend to think people should take care of themselves.
Okay.
Do you?
I'm old school in the sense that I think kids should get their asses busted by a teacher.
Okay.
I don't like the fact, and here's one of my problems. This is what the DSS was about.
Yeah.
When I
Really?
grew up, I didn't worry about kids bringing guns to school and blowing the hell out of each other or the teacher. That didn't happen because there was a healthy fear, and you got corrected by parents. These day and age, kids bring guns to school because I don't think that they're corrected at home, and they take other people's lives because they got no respect for authority. I said, I will not let my kids go out and go blasting people away because I'm not teaching them to respect human life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my whole motivation with the time to push him. Hey, dude, you need to tell me what you're up to, man. I need to know.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't tell me.
So you'd say your personal beliefs affect your actions?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true for everybody.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know who wouldn't be.
You know, obviously, if you believe something, it doesn't affect your actions. You don't really believe it that much, do you?
Yeah, you say you do, but you don't, right?
Yeah. Do people ever have difficulty understanding you?
Yes.
If so, why do you think this is?
People say I'm really smart, and I talk at 100 miles an hour, and I'll go from one subject to another, and it seems random to them, but to me, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I've understood you tonight. I can see how people would think that, though.
You're more understanding than the typical person. I can tell that I got a sort of a nuance about people. You're a very people person, I can tell.
Well, I'm here to try to understand.
No, I'm saying
I told you earlier.
Not all cops are that way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I was resistant to the other ones.
The ones that you spoke with last night. And I may have some questions for you about that. We'll talk about those in a minute. The next question, so we can get through these. Have you ever been told that you had a mental illness?
By a doctor?
Just anybody.
Oh yeah, you're fucking nuts, dude. My nickname in high school was the crazy white guy.
Crazy white guy?
I'm not joking. Yeah, that was my nickname.
So people in high school told you this. You told us earlier. The military also.
The military said I was wrongly enlisted due to some wrong enlistment. I fell under depression.
Okay. Have you ever had any treatment, or have you ever been hospitalized for any of these issues?
No, I fought it.
You fought it? Okay.
I tried it.
Have you ever had a diagnosis?
No.
No? Do you think you have a mental illness?
I think something's not right. I don't know what I think I may have some, not some.
Okay.
If I'm anything like my mom, yeah, I got lots.
I got you.
The reason why he keeps bringing his mother into this is because, yes, his mother is a diagnosed schizophrenia, and she has been living in a state hospital. And I mean, but this has nothing to do with his mother. This is what he did. But he's trying to bring that in because he wants everybody to think that he has the same diagnosis that his mother has, but he was never diagnosed. But here we go. We'll keep listening to him.
Were you drinking or using any drugs at the time of the crime?
No, it was self-medication afterwards.
Afterward? What did you take afterward?
Scooby snack. It was the only thing that would try to calm the voices long enough for me to collect myself, and it really didn't work because what I just did,
Yeah.
nothing was working.
Were you drinking or using any drugs when you were arrested?
I think I'd been smoking Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks? Okay.
Again with the
Can I
Scooby
have
snack.
another one, please?
Another cigarette?
Yeah. Steal 20 bucks from my wallet and have them buy
There you
some
go.
more.
Do you have any illnesses? Physical illnesses?
So I'm just telling you what I think based off of my experience.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm the type who doesn't really like to go to doctors, which is,
I
I guess, a
that.
male thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I got an ulcer.
An ulcer?
Yeah, and the reason why is because I get those sulfur burps.
Mm-hmm.
They like eggs, and I don't know.
What
And then
this got to
also,
do with
some foods will just do a number to my gut. I've
Mm-hmm.
been told I might have colitis or Crohn's. My
Okay.
digestive tract sensitive. That's why you don't see me eat much.
I got you.
Okay.
And speaking of eating, you still don't want anything to eat. Or
No,
drink.
I
You're
mean,
good right now.
No, I can't
Okay.
eat right now. As far as also, I got issues with my back because I smashed my head. I was so young. I got stuff that's out of line, and I asked them to give me They made me sleep on that hard metal thing, and I asked them if I could have a mattress because my stuff hurts, and I guess they think I was gonna hang myself with a mattress or something.
You're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But you're
We do know that he did have a traumatic brain injury when he was younger. We do know that. That is real. That is true. Here we go.
you say you're not suicidal at all.
If I was gonna do it, it would have already happened. No, man, I'm not willing to take that. I'll do a lot of stuff, but
Because you said your religious beliefs.
taking my life is not one of them.
Because what happens? You say if you kill yourself,
If you kill yourself, well, maybe nothing does happen, and maybe, Lord, I love you. Maybe God's a myth, and we die and we go to the ground. But if He's not, and it's real, well, if it does what it says, hell's not a very fun place.
But you're not going to hell for taking the lives of all 5 of your children, right? You would only go to hell if you took your own life. Is that what I'm understanding? Good God. Here we go.
I don't think it plans on freezing over anytime soon. I don't want to go there.
Were you taking any medications before you were arrested?
I don't think so.
Okay. Were you taking any medications at the time of the crime?
When you talking about
Like prescription medications?
So I mean, I had ibuprofen and naproxen.
Okay.
So those, yeah, but nothing like. To me, that's all I had.
Okay.
I didn't have anything
Fair
else. That's all they gave me.
And we talked about this question earlier. Have you ever had a seizure or fit?
I don't know what the word fit means, but I think I may have had some seizures, the non-violent type.
Okay. Did you have one the day of the crime in question?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I can't say that I
Okay.
did.
Have you ever been knocked unconscious?
Yes.
Yes. If so, when?
I mean, I grew up as a young teenager in Chicago, and I had to protect myself because I'm white, and most of those guys aren't white, and they don't like me because of my skin color. You know what that means.
And you said earlier that you were not treated for these injuries.
No, I'm stubborn ass and don't go to the doctor unless I need to.
Is there?
I got a few things. We started off today at 17:30, or I'm sorry, 19:30, about 7:30 p.m. Does this sound right to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been here for a number of hours. It's 10 o'clock.
It is currently 10:53 p.m.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
10,
that's
yeah.
Central
so
Time.
This is
Actually,
okay. So we're going off of.
We're going to stop that one right there. But let me explain something to you as well. Now, he makes a phone call to his father. You heard everything he told the police as to what happened, blaming the 6-year-old. 6-year-old had it out for him, etc. But he tells his own dad something completely different. Now, his dad's an interesting fellow, and there's a show on Hulu. No, I think it's on HBO Max. It's My Child the Killer, and this story is one of the stories told. And he tells his father the boy wanted to go back to his mom. It triggered a mental snap, and that is why he took the child's life. And then after taking that child, well, he had to take the rest of them as well. That's what he told his father had happened, not all this stuff that he told the police. Now, I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to pull up his dad's, hang on, make this smaller. Hang on. Now, we're going to pull up his dad's interview with the police. All right. Right. All right, let me go pull this back up over here. Oh boy. Here is the father of Timothy Jones. Doesn't want him to get the death penalty, but he's going to talk about this. Hang on a second. We're going to listen to his father for a second. Now, there's another part of this that's kind of strange, and we're going to show it. So, this is Timothy's father went and got tattoos of the kids, all of the kids on his person. They showed these in the courtroom, which I thought was completely strange. But here we go. And again, this is going to be full credit to News 19 WLTX. So just a moment, guys. Let me get this started. We're going to watch this part. Hang on. All right, here we go. All right.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I feel more responsible than anyone. I mean, what are you asking exactly?
What did you do to memorialize the babies on you?
I got my back tattooed.
You're gonna ask permission from Mr. Jones to be able to get.
Now, I don't understand why they're showing this in court.
You can step down, Mr. Jones.
Okay.
Here.
Let me see if I can speed it up where they actually show it. Hang on. Whoops. See if we can get over there where they actually show them, because he's standing over there and he's got his shirt off, and you can see. Let me see if we can see that. Okay, hang on. You can see that he's standing. Okay, there it is. Okay, look. Now, here we go. Whoops, here we go. Now, look.
This is mirror.
Now, I thought this was kind of strange.
Upper left, right?
There's all the babies on his back.
Are these all from pictures that you had of the babies?
I'm going to.
And then
I'm
laying in the middle.
Isn't that strange? Why are they showing these?
Gabe just to the right of Lane. Eli over here. And then there, the Tom's in the middle. And then who's to the left of the Tom? Brother. Speak up just my brother Larry. Larry. And is he the one that you told us died in a motorcycle accident? And then to the right of the Tom, who's that? My sister Larry. She's the one that died of cancer. Yes.
Okay.
And when did you first start getting these tattoos? Just a few months after this happened.
Now, I'm going to stop playing this.
Worked on again and again.
Hang on. And the reason why I'm going to stop playing this is because now we're going to go back and we're going to listen to what his dad says about him, because his dad says that he saw this coming and did nothing about it. Now, I've got a lot of questions about this. I've got a lot of questions about this whole case. So let's go pull that up. Hang on a second, guys. Just a moment. And P-O-L-I-C-E. Here we go. Okay. Now, Father Timothy Jones doesn't. We're going to let him talk for a minute. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that other part. Horrific loser is convicted. Timothy Jones testifies in his son's trial. Well, I don't know if that's going to be
The
the whole
father,
thing.
Timothy Jones Jr., testified on his son's behalf for hours today.
I want to
Timothy
watch
Jones
that
Sr. was emotional as he talked about his grandchildren
over here.
and his son.
I want to watch his whole testimony. Let's go find his testimony really fast. I think it's like it's right here. All right.
Timothy Ray Jones, Jones.
And this is, again, full credit to WLTX News 19. Let me make this bigger. All right.
So during, if you just tell me, did you recognize them? These ones, these first two are already in evidence. That's exhibit 252, 251, 140, and 142. And then these are the ones that I would also think about. These have been marked for identification purposes. This is 326, 327, 328, 332, 236, 238, 242, 247.
I couldn't imagine being this grandfather.
And 246. These all pictures that you recognize as family photos.
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to show some of these pictures. That list that I
read off, Your Honor, we would offer into evidence that the state has seen the photographs.
I don't know all the numbers, but you call the numbers out, and I'm gonna write them down, but those that you just showed him, state will be submitted without objection. And I'll
Yes,
put them on a number by number basis.
Okay. And Mr. Jones, if you will just sort of help me sort of just tell the jury who these people are in the period of time that was
I think I'm going to
picture
speed
was
this up a little
taken,
bit
what was
because
going on in your lives at that point. Is that all right with you?
Do my best.
This is
go
326.
to 125. All
Tell
right,
us,
good.
who's that?
That's my ex-wife, Cindy Granado, Timmy's mother.
All right. And do you remember about when that picture would have been taken?
That's pretty much when I first met her. So, I mean, 15, 16.
You're saying that's how old you were then?
I was 16. She was 16.
She was 16 as well? And this next picture is 327. Is that her as well?
Yes, I believe that's about 18.
Okay. And where'd you all meet?
And a friend of mine introduced me in Round Lake, Illinois.
How long did you know each other before you all got pregnant with Tim?
Year and a half, maybe. Year.
And jury's seeing this picture. Literally, this is 140. And who's that?
It's me and Timmy when he was born.
Which was
That's
when?
how young he was. Well,
December 23rd or 22nd.
1981?
Mhm.
Where were you all living at that point?
We were staying in my mother's basement,
In
Oak Grove, Illinois. Aldrin Trail, I believe.
How about that one?
It's Cindy and Timmy. Right there again, 19, 17, or 18, around 18 and a half, 19.
I think we talked to the jury before, but there was changes that you saw in Cindy before or while she was pregnant with Tim Jr. and after he was born.
Yeah, I mean, she was just, she just do crazy things like cut her clothes and then just sit in the corner, and she just seemed like she was losing her mind.
Yes, sir. And we don't have to go back into it again, but she eventually, I think, left you and Tim Jr.
Yes,
Or I guess she left with Tim Jr. for a while.
yes.
But did you end up getting custody of Tim?
In the long run, yes.
And who then becomes his sort of family after Cynthia leaves?
My mother and father and sisters,
And who are they again?
Elaine, Bernadine, Roberta, and Larry.
Okay.
Little Larry was like his little brother.
And what were you doing for work during that period of time when Tim was little?
I was a tool and die maker.
Say again?
Tool and die maker?
Okay.
oh,
In
hey
Illinois?
there.
Yes.
Sorry. Hey there, Boggy. I just noticed you. I'm so sorry. I was just watching this guy and listening to him talk about his mother. I'm like, okay, now wait a minute. We know his mother has problems. Thank you for coming in. Please hit that thumbs up if you get a chance. We know his mother has problems, and we do know that some of these problems can be inherited. But what we don't know is if he was never diagnosed with this. So they're talking about his mother to try to bring this in. But I think it's kind of interesting listening to his dad talk about him because I'll just let you listen. It's kind of interesting what happened. Here we go. This is the trial of Timothy Jones Jr., who took all 5 of his children's lives. He's a monster.
This
Good to
is
see you. Thank you.
142. Where's that taken?
I want to say this is in Itasca, Illinois. And
It's a
I was working for Illinois Tours at the time.
Were you living with your mom and Larry?
No, this was in, it was, I want to say it's me and Timmy.
Just the two of you?
Yeah, I believe so.
How about this? This is 328. What y'all doing there?
We're going to golf balls. I'm trying to wonder exactly where it was at. I think it was over by, I'm not sure. I can't tell, but I'd go to old schools or wherever they had a big field and we'd hit golf balls. Me and Timmy.
Really kind of stuff. Didn't you go bowling there?
I do, whatever you want to do, bowling, golf, football, baseball. We turned eventually like wrestling and gymnastics more.
hey,
Is this
Cinderella,
time
good to
in his
see you,
life where y'all
girl.
spent
Thanks for
some
coming
of your
in.
time together?
Yes.
Yeah, Cinderella, we're doing just a part 2 on Timothy Jones Jr. because let me explain kind of what happened. You can go back and watch the first of it later because it's pretty long. But, his death penalty was affirmed, right? We think he's sitting around on death row thinking he's going to get execution. Well, then I learned he's had 2 stays of execution. And now, here in 2026, they have ordered a competency evaluation. I'm like, oh, God, because you know what's going to happen next, right? because now they're still trying to claim that he is incompetent. Well, he was proven competent to stand trial, so how is he not incompetent now to be put to death? So that's why we're kind of showing this and re-talking about it. But good to see you, Cinderella.
Who's that? That's 238.
It looks the same, doesn't it?
Is that just a school picture?
I believe so. I want to say East Middle School, and yeah, it's got to be the middle school. Not middle school.
How was he interested in school back in those days?
Oh yeah, he loved school. And he excelled though. He was a good kid. I mean,
What kind of stuff did he like most in school?
math.
He's very intelligent.
Is that why you ended up getting on the computer?
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Well, real quick, 326, 327, 328 are admitted without objection. I believe 140, 142 are already in. If not, they're in now.
I know exactly what you're saying. I do have 142 in, but I'm not sure about 140.
140 is now in.
But then, that's right.
Mr. Jones, tell us about what your grandchildren, here Eli and Tom, Gabe, and Lane meant
Okay.
to you. I know I
Let's
don't
see
think you and
trigger
Julia had
warning.
a chance to meet Lane,
Unfortunately, we did.
but tell the jury about what you call them, the babies, right?
Huh.
What the babies mean to you and your family's life.
Well, they meant everything to me. I mean, I was the man.
Say again.
I was the man. You know, Papa.
That's what they called you.
Yep.
And what they called Julie, your wife.
Call her grandma.
The summer of 2012, where'd they live?
You talking about when they were getting? I mean, and then we're splitting up.
Yeah, it was the summer of 2012 that they lived with you in Mississippi, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't know it was that far away, but yeah.
And what was one of the things that you made at your house for them for that summer?
I made all kinds of things for them. I mean, I built a pool for them. You know, because none of them knew how to swim, so I want to teach them how to swim. So we put in a pool. Matter of fact, my son helped me.
I'm gonna show you some pictures. I think around that time, you just tell us who's in the picture. It's 247, you know.
It's me and the time.
Was that pretty much a normal thing for you all that summer every day?
Yeah.
You said none of the babies could swim at that point?
No, that's why you see floaties on them.
That's 246. That's who?
That's Mira.
I mean, how in the world do you kill all five of your children?
This is 245.
That's the tiny Eli and my nephew.
What nephew is that?
Not Bentley, but
It's
I
heartbreaking.
can't think of his name off the top.
That's okay.
He was just here visiting too. He'd be mad at me. Oh, he probably is going to be mad at me because he is handy.
Was this was your house a gathering place for lots of family around this time?
Yes.
And were the babies part of the reason why people wanted to come around?
Well, I mean, even before, you know, they moved away, they like I said, they were at the house every weekend. So yeah, it was always, you know, about the kids.
And before that, before the summer they lived with you, they would spend time there sometimes.
His name was Blake, by the way. Sorry, Blake.
The babies would spend time at your house before they actually lived there sometimes, right? When they lived in Mississippi.
Yeah, I mean, while Timmy was in Mississippi State, they were at our house every weekend.
I'm gonna show you. This is 332. To tell us that one of those times.
Yes, sir.
Who's in that picture?
It's Eli, Mira, me, Gabriel. No, ain't Gabriel, is it? No. Oh, that's the time. And Amber.
Is that at your house in Mississippi?
Yes, sir.
And is cooking out something that y'all did regularly when they were there?
Yeah, my wife don't cook.
Speaking of your
I'm the
wife,
chef.
242. Who's in that picture?
My wife, Natan, and me.
Well, that boy looks just like his dad.
Balloon. Yeah.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to show you. I gotta get him off. I'm sorry.
That's 360.
show you what's been marked for identification purposes. 361, just flash drive. So I've seen before this. Yes, sir. There's a video on it of that.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got it off for sensitive 361. And that's all.
You know, for fair use, we have to stop and talk about it every once in a while. But have you noticed, are you watching Junior stare at Senior while he's over here testifying? If looks could kill, he is just staring him down like, why are you even here? Sad. Here we go. Ridiculous.
It's a pool.
Oh, y'all, come on.
I've already did that one time. Isn't that about 1 minute video? Cool.
Go ahead.
I don't relate it to unknown.
Similar
Yeah.
to the pictures, so I'll admit it. 361. If I remember right, so I'll make one second.
I can find this other thing over here. Oh, come on.
Yeah, and you're in a concert with Papa?
No, no, but I just. Ah, you like, get your hand out of there.
That's it. Yucky thing, honey. That'll hurt you.
Back in the water. Sunglasses in the water.
Uh-oh.
Put sunglasses in the water. Ah.
Stop. Hi, Ton.
Tell us who was in that.
There's Mira, Don, me. I think I seen Jackie and I heard Amber. I'm sure we're probably all out there.
And tell us who Jack
And Eli, I'm sorry. Jackie's my daughter.
your stepdaughter.
My daughter.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And tell us about Jackie's involvement in the baby's lives.
Come on now.
She was basically like a little second mom to him. You know, especially that summer. She was a mom to him. They took a vacation, went up north, and we went ahead and let Jackie watch him for the summer. That was the summer before she was going off to college. And she said that she would like to help and she would keep an eye on him.
Nice.
Did she sort of volunteer for that job?
Yeah, yes,
But she lived there, right?
yes.
And these were, I mean, she interacted with them like she was babysitting, or like they were.
Like they're her own kids. They even made comments that when they were up north in my cousin's Paul's house. Paul said, "You think they were married?"
Where'd they all sleep at your house at the time?
Well, I have 3 bedrooms, so we had plenty of room.
Did they like sleep in?
But they'd all sleep with me and Grandma,
And then would they sometimes sleep with Jackie too?
Jackie. I mean, wherever they wanted to sleep. Usually we were just trying to run them down so they'd go to sleep. 'Cause, I mean, there were a bunch.
He seems like a good grandpa.
Ample.
I'm gonna show you what's.
Maybe someday I'll have
This is
grandkids.
251. That about around that summer as well?
It is.
2012 maybe?
Yes.
How cute those babies are.
Is the pool still at your house?
No, I took it down.
Why?
Because,
I just couldn't have it up.
oh, this is very sad.
Hurt too much.
I know this is brutal for you. I'm not trying to hurt you,
That's all right.
but I want you to tell the jury what it's been like to lose the baby.
Live in hell. I don't know how to explain it. Just changed my whole world,
How do you explain that, right? How do you
Don't
explain
sleep.
that?
Just
Mm.
it's really it's been 6 years for me because and then the no I didn't get to be late.
Yes, sir.
Tough. Excuse me.
When you told the jury already when Timmy was arrested, you got a call from Smith County Sheriff's Department. You went down there as quickly as you possibly could. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I know the jury knows this, and I'm not going to want to revisit like blow by blow, but what was your purpose in going down there when you went and they asked you to come?
To see what was going on. I mean, why Timmy was there with no children? You know, why we didn't know where they were.
Did you want to find the babies desperately?
More than anything.
Did you do everything that law enforcement asked of you?
Yes.
Did they even have to ask you to help?
No.
The main people that you interacted with there that you were trying to help was the Undersheriff Patterson, right?
Yes.
And then Sheriff Crumpton.
Yes.
I think Special Agent Johnson, I think, right?
Yes.
Your decision to help them at that time, because you wanted Timmy to tell them what happened, right?
Yes, I did.
And you stand by your decision to help them.
I do.
Do you regret your decision to help them in any way?
No, I don't.
No, not at all.
Are you
Wow.
grateful to those and in Mississippi for what they did?
And from South Carolina, Mr. Creech as well.
And various people have come to you since that time and asked you for your help, right?
They have.
And that includes people from the defense and from the prosecution.
Yes.
Have you ever told anybody no?
No.
Did you talk to Dr. Frierson when he was evaluating you?
Anybody want to talk to me?
And you've talked to Mr. Hubbard and people from his office on a couple of occasions?
Yes, I met Mr. Hubbard a couple times.
Once here and once at your house, right?
Yes.
And your decision to cooperate with everybody that's asked for your help, you regret that and you stand by it.
I stand by it.
How have you memorialized the babies personally?
Okay, we've already seen that
Me?
part, so
Well, I just,
skip past
I think I've,
past those. We're going to skip past them showing his tattoos, okay? We're going to actually, when they start talking again.
I know.
There you go.
But
Oh,
you
it's-
guilt for the babies.
Yes, and my son for that matter. I mean, it's more for the babies though.
Yeah, just a moment.
242, 256.
Boy,
I think that was already in.
Yeah, 361 is a video. Admit that. And then there's 332.
and there you saw it.
So put them all in, not 332.
I mean, while they get that straight, let me tell you something. So on the show that I'm talking about called it's on Evil Lives Here, My Child the Killer is the name of this little show. And the title is The Son He Remembered. And this is Timothy Jones Sr. as he reflects on the harrowing transition of his son Timothy Jones Jr. from a beloved child to a mass murderer. So his key statements and recollections in this episode, which if you haven't seen it, please go watch it because it gives you a lot of insight to the father and how much and the shock that happens to the whole family when they learn that their child here has taken out all 5 of his children. He says, raised with love. Jones Sr. emphasizes that he raised his son alone and did his level best to provide a happy life after his son's mother left. He promised to give Timothy a better upbringing than his own and wanted him to be special. Now, we see a lot of this in other parents where they're like, oh, I want my child to be special. They treat him special. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she was treated special, wasn't she? Look what happened, right? There's a whole bunch of them that were treated special, and look what happened. But let's see if we can see what they're going to, hang on a minute. Let's go back over to the testimony and see what he's got to say. And then we'll come back to that. Let's go back over here where they're actually doing some testimony.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, let me see. All right, so he's going to put that up there. Here we go. Come on. Yeah. I
Just to
know
show
the
you,
program
John's
Evil
coming
Lives.
off
It's a
the
good,
recognize that.
the,
You recognize that?
I do.
and Bogey, that's a good show, isn't it? I've watched all of them. When I saw there were some new episodes of something, I was so excited. And so I turned it on, and when I came across this, I was like, oh my God, we've got to talk about that show. And we've got to talk about what happened here. Because in the show, the next thing he says is, and this is trigger warning to you guys, I knew he'd killed them. He recalls the moment he confronted his son in an interrogation room in Mississippi. He describes seeing a person he didn't even recognize. Yeah, it's a good one. Who was ramping and raving. Jones Sr. states that he knew in his heart his son had killed those children before it was officially confirmed. A violent confrontation. He details a terrifying moment in the interrogation room where his son jumped up and snarled, I could kill you right now, and appeared ready to choke him. Jones Sr. responded by saying, you can't kill me. I love you. Okay, so hang on. Let's see what he's going to say here. It's just amazing, really.
Sure, the tattoos on your back of the jersey.
I know he was
Yes, sir.
afraid. I know he was.
Yes, sir. I've offered the evidence. I don't believe there's an objection.
You've already more or less published it, but put it back up there for the,
Yes, sir.
media.
Come on with it.
Oh,
Okay. She want a picture of it.
I'm not sure how to get rid of the glare. I'm sorry.
Oh, we've already seen that. That's the tattoos. All right, so we're going to go past the tattoos. We're talking about those tattoos. All right, let's go to the next one. Yeah, I don't want to keep talking about those.
Talked a lot about
Yeah.
care and love you raised your son with. But you also mentioned there's a lot of chaos in your house.
Yes.
But I think you've said over and over you did your best. Make sure your son knew all the
I'll
time.
turn this up for you.
I did.
You would even
Okay.
tell him you loved him.
I did.
A lot of
I do.
fathers, a lot of fathers can't even look at their sons and say that, but you always did.
Still do.
I wonder if
He was growing up, you always made sure you had clothes on his back.
this
Yes, sir.
get the CC to show up.
Yes, sir.
You always made sure he went to school.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
I always
Took
keep
care
that
of
up.
whatever's going on in your life. You got him there on time.
Yes, sir.
Made sure he did
Okay. No.
well, and he did do
All
well.
right.
I
I
didn't
can't
have to help
get
him
the
with that part.
CC to show up.
He had that pretty much down.
He had a gift.
He did. He does. Or he did. Wanted to do.
And although you had work, he had school, you spent as much time as you could with him.
You know, like any father, you think you always spend a little more, but yeah, I did.
You were involved in any activities he was involved
I guess I tried. Some things I couldn't keep up with.
in. Special events, you made your best effort to be there.
I did.
So for whatever things were going on in that world, Tim Jones Jr. had a father that loved him and he knew it.
Well, that was always a problem with Timmy. He always didn't know it. He didn't think I loved him. Still, I don't even know if this is going to prove it to him. But yes, I mean, no.
He didn't always reciprocate that love that you did.
Well, again, he just seemed like he didn't believe me. And when he got a little older, I mean, when he was younger, of course, all little 5, 6, 7-year-old kids love you to death. But as he got older, he
Yeah.
just felt that I didn't love him.
This issue with your ex-wife Cindy, we just saw a picture of.
Yes.
Did you ever tell your son when he was a little child that his mama hated him?
No.
Did you ever say your mama doesn't love you?
No.
That would be cruel. Wouldn't it?
It would be.
Did you assure him you weren't going anywhere?
Yes.
Did you let him know his mom was sick?
I did when he was older. And in the beginning, I didn't say. I mean, I told him, your mom's not here.
Didn't say
I don't
anything
really
bad
say-
about her.
No.
As he got older, he started to challenge you more.
Teenager.
That's right. That's what teenagers do.
You described, I think, you testified last time, sometimes dealing with him when he got older, like walking on eggshells.
Yes.
Any little thing could set him off.
Yes.
He'd go to his room or he'd walk away and he wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah, at times, yes.
He'd punish him.
Pardon?
He'd punish him.
I guess you could sort of look at it that way. I mean, I thought I was punishing him some, but
Your babies, grandbabies.
Mm.
Said over and over how much you meant to him.
more than anything.
I don't think anybody's going to question.
Pardon?
I don't think anybody's going to question.
I hope not.
You drove all the way from your home down to Smith County. Got Marty Patterson and those other officers find your vehicle.
Yes.
I believe you told us when you found out your son and those kids were missing, your first thought was Timmy just drove them off a cliff.
Well, that was later. My initial thought was that he got back together with Amber, and it's like, well, that's fine. I mean, that's what I really thought. But then when I realized what was going on, yes. When I talked to Amber and that wasn't the case, then I just thought that he lost it.
Last saw him Christmas Eve in 2012.
Yes, sir.
That was the evening your son. Tim Jr.
Isn't that 2014?
It's 2012. No, 20.
Oh yeah, because okay. I forgot.
I'm bad with dates too. I got to write it. December 2012 Christmas Eve.
Yep.
He got upset. Jackie, your daughter.
Well, he's been upset all weekend, so
I think you
I'm
said.
gonna turn this up a little more for you.
that's the way I took it. He was just upset because he wasn't with his wife and family. I mean, he was with his kids, but he missed Amber and he didn't have her, and it upset him. Yeah, and I can understand that because I went through a divorce, so I know I felt.
So he was, I think you told us he was picking on Jackie and he even started picking on Julie, got her involved in it.
Well, he didn't. He tried to pick on Julie, of course he did, but yeah, he was just nitpicking at Jackie, just bugging her and pestering her. Yeah.
You intervened.
Yes,
He got upset.
he did.
Always got upset. It looked like you were taking someone else's side other than his.
I mean, I guess you could look that way, yeah.
Going all the way back when you got remarried and married as Carol,
Yes,
he got upset as a child.
he got jealous.
You picked a woman over him.
That's the way he took it. Yes,
And that stayed with him.
yeah, I believe.
Okay, hang on. Let's talk about it for a second. A lot of children feel that way when you've got divorced parents and then the parents they get married to somebody else. These children automatically, they have those feelings. I think what helps a lot of families is when you go to counseling together as all of the kids and the parents, so that the children can get help learning to acclimate with this new person, and that no, dad or mom's not picking somebody over them. They're choosing another person to bring into your life for everybody. I mean, to help everybody. It's not in most cases that this is what should happen, but it doesn't happen in most cases, and that's what's sad. And I can see where I'm not excusing anything he's done. I'm not. But so we've got a child that started out being angry when he was younger. He's angry. So he doesn't have his mother. He's thinking his dad's chosen a woman over him. He's got a hair trigger. Anything little thing sets him off. I know when this man said, I thought he drove him off a cliff, he's had feelings that this man that he was not stable for a long time. Well, let's keep listening.
For a while.
Married Julie. It's
Yeah,
like,
and-
now he helped you find Julie, but there were times.
Well, if he got mad at me, he got mad at the world. I mean, that's what it was.
On December 2012, he packed his kids up, came back to South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
It was a year and 8 months before they talked about it. All of
Whatever it is, up to Labor Day.
all of 2013, there wasn't a single phone call.
Well, but I knew what was going on because he was talking to my parents.
Right.
So I kept tabs on that way.
All the way into August of 2014, finally, you picked up the phone and you made contact.
Because of my father.
You made plans to see him, kids, and Labor Day.
Yes.
Obviously, your son.
He did.
There was something going on in his life. He knew he could always make sure those babies were safe.
Yes.
They loved you when they were happy to do it.
Yes.
You made sure he knew that.
Well, I knew that. My family knows that. I just don't know that Timmy knew that. I mean, again, he thought that I chose everyone over him, or, over him and his children. That's the way he just sort of looked at it. That's the way I always took it anyway.
This one night in August 2014, he made a choice. Take away all those babies from everybody, including you,
Yes.
to save himself.
I don't know about that. I mean, Timmy's, like I said before, man, he rides a fine line. He's a brilliant young man, and And those guys, he snaps. I don't know what caused it, but he snaps.
Bottom line is, the grief you feel.
Yep,
Inflicted by yourself.
that's right.
He's the reason why you're baby.
Yeah, I blame myself more than him.
I know you did, but you know, he's the one.
I know if I'd have been there, maybe this wouldn't happen. But
Like a lot of people say. But he didn't want you there.
I don't know. Actually, he did want me there. That so that's not true.
Did you go?
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you.
so this is going to be the end of his testimony. So now we're going to stop right there. And let me come back. Oh, let me put it over here. Okay. So let me talk about what happened. Okay, so then he goes, this is from that show, but you can see he's saying, I blame myself because he says he wish he would have been there. Well, we know hindsight's 2020, and a lot of things have happened in families, and people say, God, if I'd have been there, this wouldn't have happened, But there's just things that we can't prevent other people from doing because we're not in their head. We like to think that we can, but we can't. But anyway, so he goes, guilt and regret. This is Jones Sr. Jones Sr. expresses deep self-blame, stating he regrets not doing more to help his son or save his grandchildren, specifically mentioning his regret over not speaking to the babies for one last time. His current relationships. He notes that he has not spoken to his son since the trial because he is falling apart while his son is reportedly laughs and giggles about the situation on the phone. I would love to have those phone calls from prison. I would really like to have them. I don't know if anybody's ever ordered them. I might see if we can get them or not. I don't know if South Carolina even releases phone calls from prison. But him sitting here and telling us that he has not spoken to him because his son was laughing and giggling while he is falling apart after the death of these children. It's so incredibly sad. But now there's another part to this situation, which is his mother, which we know his mother's a schizophrenic, etc. But here's what I wanted to say something. I wanted to go back to this for a second. And it's about schizophrenia itself. So let me get back over here where I had this saved. Okay. Shoot now. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. So let's talk about schizophrenia and how and when is it inherited? Okay. Okay. So Timothy Jones Jr., a schizophrenia diagnosis, which was a central point of the conflict during his 2019 trial for the murder of his 5 children. While Timothy Jones Sr. believed his son inherited the disease from his mother, the legal and the medical findings were split. The conflicting diagnosis came about as the defense views schizophrenia as experts, including forensic psychiatrist Dr. Sean A. I can't pronounce the last name, so I'm just going to call him Sean A. Testified that Jones Jr. had a clear diagnosis of schizophrenia. They pointed to his family history, his mother was institutionalized with the disorder, and his positive response to antipsychotic medications as proof. But then the state and the court views it as substance-induced psychosis. The court-appointed psychiatrist, Dr. Richard Frierson, rejected the schizophrenia diagnosis. He instead diagnosed Jones with substance-induced psychosis caused by heavy uses of spice or synthetic Mary Jane. Frierson argued that Jones's symptoms cleared up too quickly after his arrest to be a true schizophrenia. So the outcome of all of that, the insanity plea was rejected. The jury did not accept the not guilty by reason of insanity plea, finding him guilty on all counts. His death sentence was upheld despite multiple appeals in the South Carolina Supreme Court. In July of 23 was his last appeal that was upheld. So as of May of 2026, Timothy Jones Jr. remains on death row in South Carolina. While an execution date is not currently active, he has exhausted his direct automatic appeals. And this is when I came across the South Carolina Appeals Court. I found his records and all the files, all the briefs, everything's been filed. And this is when I came across the fact that it says he's had 2 stays of executions and that they have now ordered a competency evaluation. I thought that was the strangest thing. What I want to do, I'm going to see if I can, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up right quick from South Carolina. So hold on, let me quit sharing that. Let me see if I can grab that over here. Hang on a second, guys. Let's see. Okay, South Carolina. Hang on a second, guys. Hang on. Okay. Okay, Timmy Jones. Oops. Jr. Let's see if I can get this to pull up and find his. Oh, let's log up in South Carolina. Here we go. Oh, I think it's right here. Oh, it is right here. Hang on just a second. I think I can pull him back up. Okay, courts. Okay, here we go. Timmy. Oops. Oh, come on. Sometimes it just does, my mouse just doesn't want to act right. Let me see if I can get him to pull up. Oh, don't do that. Opinions and orders. Court of Appeals. Okay, let's see. I want to pull up the docket for him and look at his public index. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Come on now. Okay, it's giving me hell, isn't it? All right. Well, it's not wanting to let me pull it up. I don't know what's wrong with the system, but yeah. Tim was just jealous and probably jealous of, I believe he was jealous of his children, absolutely. But you know, the grandparent's role in the family, the grandparents always treat the grandchildren. It's perceived that they treat them better than they taught them, but that's not the case. I mean, grandchildren are a whole different story from your actual children. I don't have grandchildren yet, but everybody that I've talked to that has grandchildren says you don't understand until you get grandchildren. It's a whole different world. And I think it's sad that a parent would be upset or jealous that a grandparent would love their grandchild so much and want to spend time with them. It's just terrible what he did. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine anybody being jealous over their own children. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Let me see if I can pull this back up. I just really wanted to pull this up because it's very interesting when you look at the whole case and everything that's been filed in his case. And here we are out to the very end where we're going to set an execution date and boom, he gets 2 stays and now he's going to get a competency evaluation. And I know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is he's going to come back and they're going to say, oh, well, no, he's not competent anymore. I guess he's going to have to just have his sentence commuted to life in prison without parole. And that's going to piss me off and make me sick because if he is a true monster in every sense of the word, he is a monster. I don't even understand. How do you put your hands on your baby's neck and choke the life out of them? How? How do you do that? And then lie about all of these things. Oh, it was PT, it was this, it was that, Oh, and then victim blame. Well, the child had it out for me. Give me a damn break. I cannot believe he said those things. To me, that is not schizophrenia. To me, that is every bit of sociopath, which are two different diagnoses. I think he fits the traits of a sociopath more than he fits the traits of a schizophrenic. I don't know how anybody else feels, but I mean, here we go. Let's look at this for a minute. Traits of a sociopath. We should know these well because we've read the books aloud. We've done all kinds of things about sociopaths here on this channel. And I just think that he fits it. And they don't call it sociopath anymore. They've named it a new name like everything else. But I do believe he fits the traits of a sociopath. Hang on. All right. Let me see what we're going to call it. Let's take a look. Yeah. One's latest words were "I love you." Yeah. Look, I mean, Dad's like, "I still love you," even after he did that. And the guy, oh man, it's crazy. And he's laughing and giggling. Unbelievable. So, I mean, the traits of the sociopath, it's often used to describe somebody with antisocial personality disorder. While it isn't an official clinical diagnosis, it refers to specific patterns of behavior characterized by persistent disregard for social norms, laws, and the rights of others, which sounds just like Timothy Jones Jr., doesn't it? Absolutely does. I mean, oh boy, I just don't understand this case. And I never will. I always tell everybody, Well, I really like to look into these things because I want to understand what makes a person do the things they do. There is no explanation on earth that can help me understand why this man would take all 5 of his children's lives. I will never, ever, ever understand it. There's just no words that you can. I'm at a loss to even discuss how to talk about it because it's so horrific and so. I just want the guy. I want the guy put to death because he's the true monster. He is a true monster, and we need him to be not over here taking up our airspace. Oh God. Well, yeah. I can't believe any woman laid down with. Yes, I know, and had 5 children with this piece of shit. I know, Bogey. I know. Who would do that? She's absolutely. Is she insane too? In fact, listen, let me show you something. We're going to go back. We'll spend a few more minutes. We're going to go back and I'm going to show you what she had to say in court. And you're going to be totally shocked what she had to say. Hold on a second. This is quite amazing. Okay. Let's see. What did his ex-wife say? Okay. Ex-wife. Testimony. Here we go. Here she is. That's the marriage counselor. Here is his ex-wife. Let me go find her. Here we go. This is at the penalty phase. All right. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Here we go.
All I knew from 19 was Tim.
Here we go. We'll just listen to this for a moment and let you understand.
I personally, myself, can't bring myself to want anybody to die. It's a really hard. I hear what my kids went through. I'm just being honest. I hear what my kids went through and what they endured. Sorry. And as a mother, if I could personally rip his face off, I would. That's the mom in me. That's the mama bear in me wanting to just make him feel everything they felt.
Hold on, Mama Bear. Where were you? How did he end up with custody of all of these children? Well, let's talk about that for a second because this will help you. And how are you sitting there going, I don't want him to die? How are you sitting there saying that? Well, let's let her keep talking. I looked this up.
I don't personally feel like I have the right to put anybody's life in my hands. I don't wish that upon anybody. I don't wish the Jones family to feel what I felt losing my sons. I do not wish to. I will never have my grandbabies. I will never have those things. They'll never get to see anything more of them. I'm trying to, I guess, take a step back and trying to put myself in everybody's shoes because it has affected a lot more than just myself. It's even affected you guys. And you're just getting to know them. There's so much more about them. It's affected more than just me. I pray for Tim all the time. I pray.
Okay, all right. Let's discuss this for just a second because this is going to kind of shock you. Amber Kaiser Jones did not lose custody in a traditional courtroom battle. Rather, she voluntarily surrendered primary custody to Timothy Jones Jr. during their 2013 divorce because she believed he was in a better position to provide for them. In other words, she didn't want to fight to get child support, etc., because he made the most money. He's in a better position to take care of them. What? Think about that. Think about that, guys. The primary reason for this is just the decision included financial disparity. At the time of their divorce, Timothy was a computer engineer at Intel, earning roughly $80,000 a year. In contrast, Amber was unemployed, had no car, and did not have a driver's license. But you know what? You still could have been a mother to your children. You still could have gotten help. You still could have gotten some child support to help you take care of those children. Lack of resources. Amber testified that she had nothing to offer. Yeah. Oh boy, Bogey is right. Oh boy. She testified that she had nothing to offer her children and could not even afford an attorney to fight for custody. Timothy had reportedly cut her off from financial resources and social support during their separation. This happens to a lot of women, but they still pull through. They still find a way. They still get help. They still get their children, right? He would have paid. He would have had to, yeah, he would have been paying child support, but she just let him take the kids. Okay. In the agreement, it's sad and it's trigger warning. It is bad. Okay, so allegations of infidelity. Timothy filed for divorce in 2012, alleging that Amber was having an affair with a neighbor. These allegations were included in court documents that portrayed Timothy as the responsible father and Amber as someone who had been investigated for potential neglect. Okay, now we know that in all of these cases where we have missing children or we have children that's been taken, their lives have been taken by the parents, there's always some kind of CPS reports in these situations, right? In the agreement, the final decree granted joint custody but established Timothy as the primary caretaker. Amber was granted supervised visitation every other weekend, which usually took place at a local Chick-fil-A under Timothy's supervision. Oh boy. So, despite numerous complaints of abuse and neglect filed by teachers and neighbors after the divorce, the South Carolina Department of Social Services allowed the children to remain in Timothy's care, a failure that eventually led to a $1.5 million settlement for Amber. So, yes, she did exactly what Harvey Montgomery's mother did. He had the children. He's responsible for their life being taken. She goes and files a wrongful death lawsuit against the state and the county, and they settle with her years later for $1.5 million. But we'll let her keep talking for just a minute.
I pray for him often. I pray for his family often. I pray for my family. They didn't even have the opportunity to know them. I can't bring myself to want anybody to die. That's something that I say because I have to be okay with what I say on this stand. This is something I have to live with. There's been a lot of loss on both sides of our families. Since my kids have died, I have lost 11 family members, if you include my children, within the past 5 years. One being an aunt that died the first day trials started of kidney failure. I've had many
What has
losses.
that got to
in
do with your
pregnancy.
children?
I had 8 babies altogether with Tim. 8. I had 5 healthy, 2 miscarriages, and a stillborn daughter, and now I have none of them. That's a lot of loss for a mother to feel. So I do sympathize with Miss Roberta. I do. I think her and I connected on that when I was involved in the Jones family.
But here's something else. Hang on. Yeah. So she was nasty by behaving in that. Okay, let's see. Betraying the mom. Not cool. Let me see if I can read this. When a man divorces a woman and says something about the woman, yeah, it's ridiculous. But you know what's weird about this? The 5th baby was not even born yet. She was pregnant. Maybe she shouldn't have had them, right? Maybe she shouldn't have had them. I'm not sure, but I mean, anything would have been better than him being able to kill them. But the one baby was not born yet. So he had the 4 children at first. Then after the baby was born, and she turned the baby over to him because he got custody of all of them. Now imagine that situation. It's like she walked away from these kids. And why does she need supervised visits? There's a whole bunch to this story that makes no sense at all, and I don't understand it. And some of it's just really never came out. Like they don't really talk about what she did that was so bad that she had to have supervised visits. And how does he decide? I mean, supervised visits with him. Why isn't it supervised visits with a CPS worker? What happened here? Something's not right. Something's not normal. It's strange as shit. Strange. Let me see what he's going to say here. It's ridiculous, really.
I do. And I don't say it lightly.
She's hiding stuff. It's
my
right.
children mercy by any means. But my kids loved him.
How could she say that?
On behalf of my kids and not myself, that's what I would have to say.
Oh my God. Yeah, alcohol. Yeah, something is being hidden. I don't know if she had a drug problem, alcohol problem. Something is being hidden. I wish I knew what it was. But again, I'm never going to be able to understand how he could take the life of 5 children. Even though I'm always curious, there's just no way to explain this. It'll never be explained. But listen to all the things she says. It's crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but it's something. I don't understand how she could say these things. Here we go. I don't know, girl. I
You're not
don't
here
guilt.
for me.
Yeah, maybe guilt.
The mom in me just wants him to feel everything that I feel, that my kids felt. Nothing justifies what you've done. There's nothing you could possibly say that would justify what you've done to my babies. But they loved you. I loved you.
Look at his face. Look at the total. Look at his face. He's looking at her, looking right through her like, you piece of shit. Why are you saying anything to me? Where were you? Right? That's what it looks like he's saying to her with his eyes. Oh, wow.
I thought
Wow.
if we could reach a point to make things work
Oh, here we
for
go.
our children, that we could. And then we'd argue again. And I'd say, there's the Tim that I can't be with. It wasn't
Yeah.
a game.
No
It was a
expression.
legitimate back and forth, a fight emotionally. I hope for mercy for you. I pray for you often. And I say that without excusing what he's done.
Oh, yeah.
I say
Yeah.
that wholeheartedly from the depths of my soul. I don't want anyone to feel anymore. There's been so much loss. A lot of loss.
Thank you. Please answer your questions again.
Boy. Let's see if that's the end of hers. Actually, no. Actually, then the other side, I think, starts asking her some questions.
There's no possible way you could ever put it into words, is there?
No, ma'am.
You could sit here all day today and all day tomorrow and still not spill out all of the contents of your heart.
Yes, that's true.
Those 5 beautiful souls you had, they're irreplaceable.
They are. I have a 3-year-old that looks identical to Mira. Identical. But she's not Mira. No.
And you haven't been able to be in the courtroom, but you've been watching all of this, haven't you? So that you could keep up.
I have. I've watched every bit of this unfold.
And all of those unique, special, undeniable characteristics that you heard about the kids.
Yes.
Those are all true and more, aren't they?
Oh, yes, and so much more about them.
Oh.
I think Ton made his presence known when Woody started talking.
You said a little while ago that the decisions you made were because I had nothing to offer my children. And that might be true financially, but you had a lot more to offer them, didn't you? Love.
I did. I didn't have physical means, but they were very loved. And this is something I tell my kids every night. I do. I told them, I talked to them on the phone, and I mean it. My kids were wanted. They are loved, and they are important. They are loved. They are wanted, and they are important. Always. I've always wanted them. I've always loved them. I've never told them that I didn't want them.
And so when we talk about that love and care that you had to offer them, that's eternal.
Yes, it is.
Even when you physically left the residence, he knew you still loved and cared for your children, didn't he?
He did. He did know.
And he knew that on August 28th of 2015, didn't he?
He did.
I want to talk with you a little about what led you here today to testify in this phase. Of course, you testified in the guilt phase because you had direct knowledge of what happened on the night of August 28th.
Yes, ma'am.
You were the last person to speak with Mr. Tom.
Yes.
But what led you here today is I think you got a subpoena.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing about this. So Abigail was, Abigail's born, but they did not have their final custody agreement all together yet. But he had the other 4 children already. So then the baby is born, the baby's born, they have their final custody hearing, and then she turns the baby over to him. He did not have that baby more than a year. It was 10 months. 10 months that he had that child before he took their life. And in that 10 months, the Department of Social Services had visited that home multiple times following reports of abuse, but determined each time that the children were safe enough, okay, to remain in his care. Safe enough. God damn. I'm sorry, I said a bad word, sorry.
To be here. It was from
So sorry.
yesterday. I was called to be here.
And you were called by Tim's attorneys to
Mhm.
be here, really to state what you've always felt, that you don't want to be the one to decide what should happen to someone.
Right. That's why we have a jury.
And
How is she smiling?
part of what goes into that, just making sure that it's conveyed accurately, is
Damn.
in a case like this, it's a jury that decides the sentence.
It is.
First question.
Uh-oh.
The state has never asked you or requested you to take a position on this, right?
No.
And
I need the Jones family to know that at the end, this is not my choice. This is not my choice. And I respect whatever choice you make. I need you guys to know that.
And so really, Amber, that's what I want to ask about a little bit more. With the state seeking the death penalty, the state has never asked you to take a position one way or another, correct?
No.
Yeah.
You respect the state's right.
Let me see. Oh, he said. Yeah. It is insane, isn't it? And no, Buggy, I don't know, but it bothers me that it's bothering me that she's smiling. It absolutely is. Why is she smiling? This is terrible. I know people have different reactions and they show different emotions and people grieve differently. We don't all do it the same. And I don't know if she's smiling because that's just her way of pretending to be okay. I don't know. It's very strange that she's smiling like that. Here we go.
To seek the
Very
death penalty.
strange.
Same first one on the record. This one all.
Yes. You respect the state's right to seek the death penalty in this case.
Yeah.
I do. I just can't.
You don't want to be the one who would have to make that decision.
Right. I can't make that decision.
And we've never asked that of you, have we?
No.
And I think you said a few moments ago that as a mother, your feelings might be different than you think in terms of being a mom.
I think any mother would. I think any mother would want to shred the face off of anybody who would harm her children. Absolutely. Yes, that would be the mom in me.
And the mom in you, part of you, will always be part of you.
Mhm.
The mom in you has had a lot of conflicted feelings about what should happen.
Yes, I spoke very openly about that. I didn't get the chance just to kind of give a little, I didn't have the chance to hear everything that had happened to my children, what literally happened to them or what happened that night, the things that had led up to this, I wasn't aware of fully. So I was finding out along with you guys and the world what had happened to my children. So in retrospect, the mom in me was like, fry him. Absolutely. But from the beginning, I have maintained that I'm not a death penalty. I'm a strong believer in no death penalty. But yes, I've had very conflicting opinions with that in regards to what had happened to my children. Yes, naturally.
You spoke a little bit a few moments ago about some of the violence.
Listen to this though. Hang on.
There was an incident here in Lexington.
Before she says this, let me tell you something else though. And this was from the CPS reports or the DSS. They're called DSS there. But Amber Jones alleges that the state failed to adequately protect these children despite numerous calls. The suit repeatedly refers to Jones Jr. as a well-documented child abuser. Now, remember, he said that the reason why the oldest child died was from making him run and do exercise, right? But we know that's not true. He did lie about that. The lawsuit stated that in 2011, DSS visited the Jones home several times because the children were living in dirty conditions, were being neglected, and had substantial risk of physical injury, right? Okay, so what? And you left, and here's my question, and she left them there. She did not make other arrangements for her children knowing this was going on. But let's hear what she's got to say here. It is ridiculous.
I believe that you actually
Ridiculous.
the police.
Would it be the 18-wheeler?
Can you tell us about that?
Tim and I were leaving Walmart, and we had gotten into an argument, and he said, hey, let's just play chicken then. in a more stern, argumentative tone. And I said, Tim, it's not funny. It's not effing funny. It's not effing funny. We had the kids in the back seat. So an 18-wheeler was coming this way, and Tim steered the car where the 18-wheeler would hit me directly. And as we were driving toward the 18-wheeler, it wasn't much of a distance at all. And Tim jerked the car that way and just started laughing about it like it was funny. And I know he remembers that one. I did report that. It scared me. My children were in the car. Had that 18-wheeler hit, it would have killed. It would have killed everybody in the car.
Is that the only incident that happened during the marriage?
No.
No.
Were there times he laid hands on you physically?
Yes.
And you have since informed law enforcement about those times as well, correct?
I did. One incident in particular, we were arguing. I can't remember what it was
What
about.
an idiot is right.
But Tim grabbed me by the side of my head and headbutted me to the point where I just blanked out. And when I got up, it was kind of what just happened. But I could feel my head kind of jar, my brain jar in my skull. And shortly after that, he threw a phone at my face and broke my back teeth out.
How much of that did the children witness?
But she left her children there with him. If he will inflict violence on you, he will inflict violence on your children. Why do these women not understand this? I will never understand how she could leave them there. But let me tell you, it goes even further. In August 2014, court documents state that Timothy Jones picked up his children from school and daycare and took them home. Okay, well, there's a different part to this. Hang on. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go back into 2013. Court documents stated that the children suffered physical abuse and neglect while in the custody of the father. DSS recorded that Timothy Jones was overwhelmed and posed a high risk of danger to the children. Overwhelmed and posed a high risk of danger, but they were left there in his custody. Why? Where were you, Amber? Where were you? Yeah, she had to have known before that, before having had 5. She knew he was a violent person. She knew she knew that he would just change in an instant. She lived on eggshells while she lived with him, just like his father discussed walking around on eggshells around him, because when he get upset, he would just fly off the handle. And he abused her physically. Oh God, how could she leave the children there? I don't get it. Let's see what else she has to say. Damn.
I'd like to say none of it. My daughter, my oldest two, probably witnessed the most. Mira witnessed a lot of Tim spitting in my face. I was always a whore, spitting in my face. And I'm talking like hawking loogies and spitting them in my face.
Oh, how disgusting.
He would take me by the side of my hair and smack my head as hard as he could off the car window, or while I was pregnant and we would be arguing in the car, he would stomp the brake to where the belt would just tighten around my stomach.
Wow.
The verbal abuse was always that he.
Really, I can't believe people. I know. Look, I can't, Bobby. I can't either. I can't believe that you had older children. You saw how he treated you, and you had more with him. What in the hell is wrong with her? It's not about what all's wrong with him, but what the hell is wrong with her? Jesus Christ! All right, we'll keep listening to this person. Damn.
To chop me up and feed me to the pigs.
God.
Those pigs will eat everything on me but my teeth, and it'll never be found.
So, what you've just described, did that contribute to you leaving the marriage?
It did. I think when you're in a situation, when you're in a marriage, and it was volatile both ways. I'm not going to sit here and lie and
okay,
sugarcoat and pretend that I'm this innocent woman. When you're in a relationship and it's like a tornado and a hurricane and it's like a head-on collision, there's no coming down from that. There just isn't. It escalated more when we got here, and I think losing the Jones, like we would go to the Jones family's residence, his dad's residence, every Saturday, I believe, to have family dinners. That was my break out of my home. And I would vent to my mother-in-law or just have a moment and cry. Because that's all I could do. when we got down here and we didn't have that.
That is not all you could do, Amber. That is not all you could do. You knew you were in a dangerous situation. You knew your kids were in danger. And you left them there. And now you got what? You got $1.5 million settlement? You can't get your kids back, honey. You can't change any of it. God.
That support to
Talk
just
about
run
sick.
to. I don't think either of us really knew what to do. I think I couldn't get my kids out to go to a park if I wanted to.
Why not?
I was stuck in a home for 9 years all the time until we went to his dad's house. And I've got to say, as a woman speaking honestly, I mean, it'll drive you nuts. It'll just drive you nuts. It's like the homeschooling with Mira and Elias. I'm not a certified teacher. So if my kids weren't up to par with their grades, I'm not going to pretend to be.
Videos, you identified them originally, I believe, in the first phase of this trial, and they have since been offered into evidence and have been published to the jury. But what can you tell us, Amber, about those videos that we saw that were sent to your phone of Mira and Eli?
At the time that I received those, it crushed my heart because these are my babies. And I had even had a discussion with Tim about those recordings after they were sent. I felt like he was using my kids to manipulate me to come back home.
Absolutely.
The thing was with my children is that my children were still young and they didn't quite grasp what was going on or the volatileness between our marriage. As kids shouldn't. That shouldn't be something that's flashed out to a child. That's something that they should be sheltered from, period. It was getting to a point where I couldn't shelter them from that.
You shouldn't leave your children in that. You should have never left those children in that. I mean, look, okay, why? She said she didn't have a driver's license. Go get a driver's license. How hard is it? It's not hard. You can do this stuff online and go take your driving test. Because you're over 18, you don't have to go to driving school per se. I don't understand. She's acting like she had no choices at all. Oh my God. I know there are some women who truly are abused to that point, but I just don't believe, I don't know what I believe now. I just don't know. I can't even hardly speak. It's so ridiculous. Well, keep listening.
Anymore. So
Damn.
Him sending these, it was almost tormenting. It was like your kids are crying for you and you still won't come back. Why are you making them sit down and record themselves crying like this? Because you're tormenting them too. And just stop. It was tit for tat back and forth like that constantly. And it was very draining. I'm not going to sugarcoat things to benefit anybody here. I'm just, that's my feeling on the matter. I knew my kids, I knew at least Mira and Natan wanted to be with me.
Go get them.
I didn't miss my visits with my children. I missed maybe 2 at the end, but I was very adamant about seeing my kids. And when I had the chance, I went to see my kids because Lord knows I didn't get to see them often. The pictures that you guys saw with Tim holding Gabe, I took those. And it was the last time I saw my children alive physically. I don't know how anybody else sees them, but to me, Tim was smiling. Gabriel was smiling. All the kids were smiling. There was nothing. I thought we were at a point where we were co-parenting just fine. We were meeting, we were communicating. We had our volatile phone conversations regularly. It wasn't every night, but it was regularly. On both ends. I was stressed because I was managing at Walmart. He made the schedule, and it's like, Tim, I can't get there at this specific.
Okay. She managed to get a job after she left. She's managing at Walmart. She's apparently getting to work okay. Why didn't you go get your children? Why didn't you file for custody of your children? You were making money then. You were managing at Walmart. You could support your children then. Amber, what happened here? Bogey, think about what I'm saying here. Listen to her. God almighty.
Time, can you please schedule it for another time? Or instead of meeting me in Lexington, he'd want me to find a way to get all the way to Bush River Road, but didn't want my now mother-in-law to drive me there knowing I didn't have a license. It was impossible. Nothing.
Did you feel like he was working?
Go get a driver's license.
Those visits happen?
At times he did. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
And you know, and I think his
Yeah, it's
dad
all
and his grandmother
excuses.
reiterated this too. When you make Tim mad, you make him mad. There's no working with him. There's no in the middle. It's either this or nothing at all. So it was rare that he would work with me on something. I believe he did work with me on letting me take them to Chuck E. Cheese and treat them to that. That was special to me because that's something I really wanted to do. I paid for every visit.
So the videos that you received, your word earlier was manipulate. You believe you received those to manipulate you into coming back home?
That's how I took it. Yes, that's how I took it.
When we talk about the character of the defendant, the character of Timothy Jones, is manipulation a fair way to describe him?
Yeah, it can be. Tim knows how to manipulate. Tim knows how to be stubborn and hard-headed, manipulative, coercive.
About Nathan,
I think a lot of what my kids may have said was coerced. I really do, because that's not the relationship I had with my children. When my children were with me, there wasn't a problem. There was no problem. My kids, mommy, and ran to me with open arms. I can tell you my kids were as stubborn as me, and if they had an issue with me, they wouldn't have ran to me.
I believe there's a defense exhibit 267, defense exhibit 267, a statement from Crystal Valentine, wherein it's alleged that the defendant would tell the children that you didn't love them. Were you aware of that behavior?
I was not aware of that. I was not.
Bogey says, well, if you know that about him, exactly, you know that about him. You know that, I mean, see, the thing is she's talking about these volatile fights they're still having on the phone. How are you having volatile fights with him, but your children are okay in his presence? No. It was manipulate. Yeah, he was manipulating her. But what was she doing? I've heard not one word of any type of counseling for these children to help them acclimate into living in their dad's home and their mom not being there. I mean, I've heard nothing about trying to help these kids. It's all about her, or it's all about him. God almighty, you trash. Ugh. Oh my
So
God.
when I say I'm finding stuff out along with you guys, I truly am. I was not aware that my kids felt like I didn't love them. I was not, because I showed it often. Anytime, I believe as a parent, when you are wrong for something, if you expect your child to not lie and to tell you the truth and to make things right, I believe as a parent you should do the same. And that has always been my thing with my children. That's why the notes were written to them.
I know, girl. I know,
I wasn't
Bogey.
the only failure in the marriage, but if I hurt my children, and I did, then I need to.
Yeah, Bogey, I wanted to like her too, but you know what? The more I hear, the less I can. I mean, she's not the monster like he is, but there are certainly things going on here that should have been disclosed. You know, she knew. She knew. God.
Apologize for. I need to address it. So, but I know I was not aware of them hearing that. I always let them know you are loved, you are wanted, and you are important.
Just not enough to live with me. How about that?
And I express that to them often. My fondest last memory of my son Nathan was him running to me across. Tim had just parked in the parking space at Chick-fil-A. And my son got out of the car and he had a little checkered shirt, which I still have to this day. I can't bring myself to wash because it still smells like him. But he had his arms open and he just took off in the parking lot saying, "Mommy." And I said, "Whoa, son, you're going to get hit by a car." The tight hug that my son gave me, I try to hold on to that because if they died thinking that I didn't want them or love them, it's going to kill me.
Were you aware of any issues that Timothy Jones had regarding Nathan?
The two children, out of all five of my children, the two that I always defended the most, that I found myself having to defend the most, were Mira and Nathan. Nathan primarily. Nathan did not have a problem expressing his feelings. He was very bold. If you did something, he would very much let you know to your face. You could have a zit and he'd let you know that it was ugly and to pop it. That's how upfront he was about his feelings. I think there was some resentment there with Tim. I think there was resentment with my daughter, Mira, and my son, Nathan, wanting to be with me. I truly do. I think every parent, when you're in a situation where your kids are separated
and you're fighting for your vying for their attention and their love. You're pick me. In that situation, I guess I didn't fight hard enough. I didn't feel like putting my kids through this tug of war was going to make it any better. I had my feelings and my opinions with their dad, and I felt like when they got older, they'd figure it out for themselves. Tim had other.
Oh, really? Okay. When they got older, they figured out for themselves. I guess she decided when they were 12 years old or whatever, and they could make a decision where they wanted to live. Well, then she would let them come live with her because it was their decision. You don't let children make decisions. You make decisions for them about what's best for them. You protect them. You don't let them live with a monster who's going to kill them. God. Oh, my God.
Other methods of it.
Sad.
That night, one of the sources of conflict that last night was that you had defended Matan.
Yes, I did. And he let me know it. Tim let me know it.
Amber, his statements to you, you call him making statements that you would never have the children, that they would never live with you.
He had numerous times.
He's made that statement on more than one occasion.
That's right.
Yes,
Children cannot make adult
what have I done
decisions.
as a parent? I mean, the court didn't find anything wrong with me as a parent. I
Oh,
had
really?
joint
Okay,
custody.
wait a minute.
I chose.
The court didn't find anything wrong with her. Why did she have to have supervised visits with him? Who made that decision and how did this happen? Because something is missing, right? Something is missing here. Yeah.
As a mother, what I thought was the most responsible thing was making him primary custodial parent. I obtained a car, I obtained a license, I got a management job, and I got my high school diploma, all to prove to the system that I was a good enough parent.
Then go get him.
It just wasn't good enough for Tim, and it never was going to be good enough for Tim. I didn't have anything to offer. He was very insistent on them not being around Sean. And then I found out about Crystal.
Sean being your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband now.
Yes, and he was 24, by the way. He was 24 when we got together. I was 27.
Okay.
When you said you found out about Crystal, you had not been aware.
No, I was not aware of that. I was not even aware. Currently, I live about 5 minutes from Tim's old place. And I was not aware that he had that place set up and had Crystal living there at all. It was not until the guardian ad litem stepped into the case. We were both equally paying for her, I believe, for her services. And
okay.
I said, well, who's watching my kids? You know, I'm a mom. I want to know who's watching my children because this isn't right. You know, if I'm not working, why can't he just drop them with me? I'd be willing to meet him and go there, whatever the case is, because they're familiar with me. It gives me a little extra time with them. That wasn't going to happen. That was a problem. That's when I found out about Crystal and her being involved with, we still weren't divorced, and my husband. And it hit me the wrong way. Here I'm being accused of sleeping with a 17-year-old boy, and it's him that's doing it. You know, I didn't jump into a relationship with Sean like everybody's proclaiming. That's not how it happened at all. And it's unfair for that to be put out there. Everything, I feel like everything I was accused of is quite opposite.
Oh, projecting? Okay.
So
to make me look like the bad parent.
The statements that you would never have the children, Amber, he told you that on more than one occasion?
Yes, Sam, he did.
Nothing further.
And he meant it, I guess.
Despite everything that you've been through, do you want Tim to be put to death?
Ask and answer, Your Honor.
Well,
No. I'll respect whatever the jury decides.
And Amber, just to follow up on that, you're okay, but you're not the one making that decision, aren't you?
I am.
Nothing further.
Wow. Let me see. How much further? See, this shows the more that there's some more testimony here. See? Okay. Let me see if something else is. Let me see who else is on here. Hang on. Who is this? Oh, who is this? Oh, hang on. Oops. Who is this testifying? Hang on just a second. Okay, I got to figure out who this is, but isn't this quite amazing? Okay, look, she had a job, she had a car, she had a driver's license. She did have something to offer those children. Why didn't she hire an attorney and go get her children? Because you know what? There is a chance that she could have gotten them. There's a chance those babies could still be alive today, right? So I don't understand what happened here. I don't get it. If there's already DSS reports that they were living in filth, they weren't be taken care of, and that they were could be in danger with him, I'm pretty sure that a court, had they went through the proper stages, a court may have given her those children. I don't understand. She did not fight for them. To me, she did not fight for them. That's how I feel about it. She never fought for those children. And it's sad. It's incredibly sad. Let's see if I can get this to play because I'm not sure who this is, but I want to know what she's saying.
Around other kids who
Oh,
were
here we go.
smoking or who were drinking, they
Here we
didn't
go.
seem to
Let's
notice or
listen.
care that he was different, that he didn't have a mother, or that he was socially quite awkward.
Oh, this is somebody from his past.
Friends, something that he hadn't had before. So he got involved, drinking fairly heavily, smoking a fair amount of marijuana. It did
Okay.
not affect his grades until the point where
Listen to
one day
that.
he was at school when he was a junior and he had some marijuana in a cigarette case. The cigarette case fell by the wayside. It was found. It had marijuana in it. It had marijuana that he had taken from his father in it, unbeknownst to his father. And he was arrested there at school.
Now,
and
hang
walked
on,
out in
hang on.
handcuffs.
They're claiming, did you hear what they just said? Did you hear what they just did? Took it from his father. How do we know that's even, we don't even know if that's true or not true. And what has that got to do with him smoking pot? Boy, it's like they're wanting to blame everybody but Tim and Tim's actions alone for what happened to these babies. Okay, oh, we've been on here almost 3 hours. I might have to get off of here. But, I just wanted to, I'm just going to take this off. But I just wanted to do an extra live about him. Because when I found out that he had gotten 2 stays and now they're going to evaluate his competency, and he's more than likely going to be considered not competent anymore, then he's not going to get the death penalty and he's not going to have to pay for what he's done. He'll just be life in prison for the rest. He'll just be in prison for the rest of his life. But I'm listening to all these things, and it's like nobody's making him take responsibility for what he did. It's like they want to blame, oh my God, they want to blame everybody else and the spice he was, and the drinking and the drugs and all these other things that he was doing, and the fact that his mother was a schizophrenic, and the fact, oh, come on, people. He is responsible for what he did. He knows exactly what he did. He was competent when he stood trial, and I don't understand why he's not competent now. But we're going to find out about that. Anyway, if y'all get a chance, go back and listen to the beginning of, if you didn't hear the beginning of this show, go back and listen to the beginning of it. If you get a chance, please hit that like button so we can try to get this out into the algorithm at some point. I'm over here working at this, but I know that some of this stuff is not for everybody. But I find it pretty interesting. And I always want to know, and again, my whole thing is what makes these people tick? Why do they do the things they do? How can this happen in today's world? How can so many children's lives be taken by their parents? How? It just makes it's just sad. It's senseless and it's a waste. There are so many kids that could be great people. They could cure cancer. They could do all these different things, but nobody protects them and their lives are taken. And that's what's happening here. That's what happened here. They were not protected. But I'm not going to say it was DSS's fault. I'm going to say it was a breakdown between the mom, the dad, DSS, and the teachers and the schools and everybody else. Nobody looked out for those children. Nobody. And now they're gone. Okay, with that, thank you for coming in. Thank you for visiting with me. I'm going to say, have a good evening. Take care of yourself. Have a happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Or is it tomorrow? Yeah, or today. Have a happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your day. And I'm going to say good night. And as I always say, go hug your babies. Life is short and our time with them is even shorter. And with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you again. Y'all have a good evening. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Bye, guys. See you later. Thank you.